No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
I mean, Dave documents so many things. That would have been for you and I to have.
Definitely. We need to get like a mole in the family.
Yeah, it's like, hey, he said, when all the friend's family that's together with him, that they're all stuck on their devices. I'm like, hey, look, one of you do us a favor. Get some behind the scenes, the True Hollywood story, and let us in. No Dave today. They've got a couple different family things going on this morning. Everybody's good. They're going to be fine. He should be back tomorrow. Talked to him this morning. He experienced what you experienced, what I experienced, Chris. So we have a shared document, let's say. Well, that's what it is. Not making that up. That is basically what we write the show rundown. This chaos that we seem to do every day does have a plan to it, believe it or not. And it helps us get us to 10 o'clock and just kind of different layouts. If we have guests, where we're putting things and so on and so forth. And so last night I go on like normal to do my part of the show. And it looked different, was set up different. And there was like an extra step to do something else. I went, well, I'll do that. But I don't know what initiated the first kind of bug in the system, let's say. And then Dave tried to get on this morning and you tried to get on this morning and everything was weird. And then you just did a different version of it or what?
Oh, I think I did the same thing that you did. I just copied it, but I just shared it with you guys.
Gotcha. So we got there. We ultimately got there, and we hope you're here with us as well today. Dave is the first one in the chat. So the rest of you, hello, good morning. Happy Wednesday. We've got plenty of things to discuss.
I'm walking over there before I get my coffee.
Before we get you to 10 o'clock, as you know, as we'll end the show, we will have celebrity birthdays, a much better version today. Though you did get your wrestler.
I wish you weren't a liar.
You got your wrestler in yet. One of your many wrestlers.
Yes.
Yesterday.
It's actually a good day for wrestlers.
Yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah. Today, pretty good list. So we will get that a little bit later in the show. Obviously, we will get into plenty of NBA action. Playoffs continued last night. We've got that coming your way. And so much more. We'll see how we did on streaking and even good news for the Sharks. How about that? San Jose Sharks has been rough. That's been one of Northern California's best franchises in the long haul. I know it's been the last couple of years have been rough, but yeah, they will have the top pick. And the many things that we will go over today, though, throughout now and till 10 o'clock. Always, we can hear from you guys on the text line at 916-339-1140. You ever want to dial in, you can, 1-800-920-1140, or hit us up on our YouTube here on Sacktown Sports. We appreciate all of you that take the time to watch and or listen each and every day. So I know Monday we got Dave's edition of his weekend, which was pretty eventful, certainly, in which he threw the pizza oven over the top of the neighbor's yard, which was definitely something. Chris, this last weekend, I had a chance to, with my family, with my wife, my two sisters-in-law, no. Oh, okay. And then my mother-in-law and my son, we took an RV trip up to Northern California, further northern, kind of the Humboldt area, and we were able to partake in what was originally listed for us. We were going to try to do a half marathon. There's a full marathon, a half marathon, a 10K. And I will say with all candor that I was doing my best part to will the Kings to go farther so I could avoid being involved in this, because I, like anything, if you're going to partake in anything like that, you need to train. Well, the Kings, as you all know, got eliminated. I didn't have a lot of time to get prepared for that. And so we all ended up ultimately downgrading to the 10K. And Chris, I think aren't you still a pretty regular at the gym?
Yes.
I mean, a couple days a week at least?
Yes.
That's good. So you're at this point when you get your workout, you're not sore the next day or anything like that. Unless it's something extreme, or you feel pretty good?
I usually feel it a little bit.
But nothing.
Not
as you
major.
age, like,
Yeah.
when we're in our 20s, like, man, I could do anything all day long, never be sore. So, I just did a 10K. People were plenty faster. I did some running, some walking, I just got through it. Let's put it that way. Still sore today. Still feeling it. This getting old business is for the birds. Let's go to our first caller of the day. I believe it's a long-time caller.
Dave in Antelope, I believe.
Dave in Antelope is what it's listed here. Hello. Good morning, Dave.
It's kind of weird, and no joke, that when I call in and you bring me on, it does take me back to when I was like 17 years old. And you and Buzz
15.
would bring me on. The only thing I could do to screw up the show more is to call in right when you're like getting into a story. So I was happy to listen. You're still running those? Jeez.
Well, no. To say running those is there's people that are running those. I was there. I showed up. I ran, walked, run a little bit. There's a squirrel. I lose my attention. Running sucks, that kind of thing.
Did you do your best, and did you have fun?
The first part, well, you know what? I could have done better. I really could have done better. You and I are the king of physical activities. So you were throwing over pizza ovens. I was like, I'll get through this.
Well, I have an update on that in a second, but let me just say last night we have the little tonal machine at home in the garage that has become a clothes hanger, and my son was on it last night. So I actually got a workout in with him. And by workout last night, I sat on the chair next to him and like graded his form, but it was close. It was closer. I'm getting there.
Yeah. And you keep saying, like, you just feel, like you said, you feel that you've got like a workout breakthrough coming.
I do.
I don't know what that means to you, but you would know, and when, and I don't know. I don't know if there's a date, like a reunion tour assigned or what.
I have a workout baby that I'm pregnant with that I know I'm going to have fairly soon. Although I did look on my Tonal app yesterday, and my last workout, my last workout on it was September of 2022. So I may want to, update that. I wanted to call in, and we're limited on time. Number one, thank you. And as you said, I'm fine. We just said it's a family thing where everyone's good. Mel's under the weather. Kids have doctor's appointments. Schedule screwed up. It's always great to lay that on you a half hour before the show starts. And then, as you mentioned, the doc issue. But
I wish you weren't a liar.
At least, no, I feel like that's all okay. 45 minutes before the show. I did have some completely unrelated show news, though, that I can break for you. We're not done with this yet, but I think because he's a friend over at remember our good friends over at Amy Ace Hardware?
Yes, of course.
So they're going to be, I think they're coming back for the summer, and I am excited to announce, I found this out yesterday, that one of the products, brand new products that I believe I will be trying out and doing some commercials for is their brand new pizza oven for outdoor that I was informed about yesterday. And they said, we want you to, by the way, they were not listening because I didn't get any inferences at all, but they're like, yeah, we got a couple of things here. And one of these things is an outdoor pizza oven. I won't say the brand name yet, but it's a very, very nice, both gas and wood powered pizza oven for outdoors. And I immediately thought, these are going to be some interesting commercial spots.
I mean, that timing couldn't be better. You can't try one out and launch that one. You've got to just be better about it.
No, I have to. So I spent a good amount of time yesterday back on YouTube looking at there's classes that you can take on how to stretch pizza dough and how to do a home pizza oven, like pizza cooking and all that. But apparently you can also like sear steaks and cold smoke meats in this thing. I mean, again, but the idea that I think we just talked about this, Monday? And then yesterday, it's like the gods are saying, you're going to figure out this pizza oven thing and you're going to figure it out for everybody. So I would like to, here's my idea. I'm being sort of serious about this. Would you two be open to, if this goes through at some point in the next couple months, maybe coming over to the house for dinner and the three of us have an evening of pizza making and eating?
Short answer is yes. Longer answer, I was thinking before you said that was, look, a couple weeks ago, I brought in the microwave oven from my house to this room. Like, let's bring that bad boy in here.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I thought of it. Here's the two things. Number one, it's wood fired and or gas fired, so I'd have to bring in a propane tank.
So again, let's bring that bad boy in here.
That's a good die of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Well, let's try the pizza first.
The other problem is that apparently this is an incredibly sturdy, incredibly heavy pizza oven.
So you won't be able to launch it.
No, nor would I.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I've rethought that whole position. Let me tell you guys something. There's nothing like making your own pizza at home for friends and family. Nothing brings them together like that. I'm really looking forward to this. I love me some pizza ovens, and I'm glad the pizza gods are giving me a second chance, thanks to our good friends, perhaps, at Amy. So,
good Lord willing.
You like that pivot?
You like the pivot? I love it. You'll make a good pie, and everybody will be happy.
I'm here if you need me. Have a wonderful show.
Hey, before you go,
yes,
you're the king of accents. Let's get your Italian pizza. Like, give us a little sample of what that. Sometimes companies want like a spec spot, some sort of example. So you might as well, give them a taste of what they might get in your famous Carmichael Dave Italian accent.
Hey, everybody, it's Carmichael Dave here for the pizza oven. Let me tell you something. You got the kids, you got the parents, you got the family. Everybody come over, whether it's pepperoni, whether it's a sausage, a pineapple, a ham, although that's not traditional. Come over and enjoy the pizza.
Mamma mia, that's a good slice.
That's what I call a pizza.
Get your pizza on.
Here we pizza.
They say when it comes to a pizza, a circumference is number one on the list.
Oh no!
Wait, don't cross pollinate.
Maybe that was all right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm glad we got the dock figured out.
Yeah, me too. I was just sitting there on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
The dock of the bay.
Yes.
So maybe you guys come over. That would be our first home visit on the show.
Yeah.
I would be like super stressed out about it too, right? Like really stressed out about it.
Chris and I wouldn't be that judgmental.
No, you would. You and I both know, especially Chris, he would be making silent notes on every single thing.
I don't think it'd be very silent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what do you guys want to drink? What do you want on your pizza? Like I know, with Chris, it'll be some sort of weird IPA. Jason,
I heard Mel's got a pretty good cabinet.
That's actually a great point too. Yes. That's actually a really great point. You'd have no problems there. And then we sit around, we have pizza, and we bond, and hang out as friends like we often do, and just talk about life.
Yeah, I think it's a date. I would be looking for the bat and dog poop.
Well, you would go home with a bunch of white dog hair on you because the puppy Gracie she's in jumping and sniffing mode right now, much like me.
Yes, that's true.
So, okay.
I'm going to curl up in the dog bed here for a few minutes, and then we'll see you tomorrow.
Wow, that's right. Is that dog bed still there?
Apparently.
Hey, I'm excited about today's show. We got a lot coming up, including the Defensive Player of the Year, some crazy stuff going on in baseball, and obviously those NBA playoffs. It's killing me not to be there, but I'm excited to listen to you guys all the way until Celebrity Birthdays and Crosstalk coming up near 10 a.m.
There you go. Thank you, Dave. Take care of everything you got going on today, and we will see you tomorrow.
Leading off is next. Take care, guys.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's going on for Chrysler's It's the Season sales event?
This month, save up to $10,500 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 1500s. That means you can get your hands on one of America's favorite trucks starting at only $36,995. And with over 500 new Ram trucks available, you're sure to find the right truck for you.
But why drive all the way to Hoblet?
We do things different here at Hoblet. You're not just a number. When you buy from Hoblet, you become family. There's a reason we are California's #1 Ram truck dealer and #3 in the nation. We have the big city selection and savings, but the small town feel you can't find at an auto mall.
Now's the time to get the new Ram truck of your dreams. Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. $10,500 total net savings on new 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorns after $5,500 factory rebates and $5,000 dealer discounts. 10th is net savings. $36,995 net price on new 2024 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Bighorn after $2,500 factory rebate. Sample VIN 140408. See dealer for details.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Final seconds. Oklahoma City wins game 1. Thunder up in the series.
The great Iron Eagle talking last night, Western Conference semifinals, game 1 from OKC, Dallas and the Thunder in a close game early on. Thunder established themselves in that second quarter, get a little separation and kind of cruise. Looked good last night. They've been unreal. That is 5-0 in the playoffs, 10 in a row going back to the regular season. It's been a month since they've lost. So the Thunder take that 1-0 series lead over Dallas. I remember yesterday on the show when we were guessing the point spreads, I really liked Dallas taking game 1. So I would not have done well as a bettor if I did bet. Chris, you picked the spread closer than I did, and Dave was like, "Oh yeah, I would bet on the Thunder."
I don't believe in Mavericks.
You don't believe in Luka.
I don't believe in Luka. That's correct.
You got sausage arms and cankles.
I feel like you would have a take or a feeling on Cuban though. Yay or nay?
I don't know. I'd want him as an owner.
I would too. I think. I mean, for the most
part.
He
is more hands-on than I would like him to be, but he's passionate about the team.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I feel like his decision-making isn't, I'm making this decision because I'm so smart and
right.
I'm the smartest man in the room, so I have to fix everything. I feel like he's the guy like, I want to make the right decision for this team because I want them to do well because it is mine.
Yeah, it's a weird, I know we've kind of described before what we think as ideal owners. Look, I think it's great if you're present so we know that you're around and seemingly care. Certainly you're not afraid to spend. I think that's important, though it's not the end all be all. I think sometimes owners and or just fans in general think if you're spending money, like we just know it's not a, hey, you spend more money, you win. You don't want it to ever hurt you where you're not spending money for a reason. Like if you feel like you've got a chance to compete, I think you don't cut corners. Let's put it that way.
That's one of the weird thing is I think with like when your team isn't doing well, which I found out, which is really weird, is people will brag about how much money the team is making. It's just like, who cares? It's not my money.
That doesn't land. Like, again, I've always said this. I feel like money and sports is the biggest disconnect with fans, right? Because there's, I don't even know what percent of people would even be making the same amount of money. It's less than 1, right? And most people aren't even making anywhere near the amount of money. But then when people just tie everything to money with sports in cause and effect, like, oh, Chris, you're making $80 million over 4 years. I would never miss that free throw. That guy's a butt. Like, that's irrelevant. Like, but also when people like, I'm sitting out because I'm only making this, like that's a hard one for, I want to say, fans to take.
One of the weird ones, this is in soccer, I saw on Twitter, people were going insane because the Fulham soccer team, they're doing like, okay, but at their training, they're filmed like flying kites. And people were losing it, just like, oh, you're getting to the end of the season. You're supposed to stop this team from winning the championship, and you're flying kites. It's like, guys, that's not what they're doing the entire practice.
And if they're having some fun, team bond, whatever. Yeah, but you're right. That's like, and if they lost, then it's like, all they did was fly kites all day. It's like, not really.
But if they win, oh, they've got the secret.
Yeah. So it's such a weird premise, but good for OKC. They smashed Dallas in game 1. They take the early series lead. They've been hot. Dallas, will see what they regroup for game 2. And when they get going in 2 days. All right, let's get to cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
And the Boston Celtics making their statement with a dominant game 1 win here in Boston.
Yeah, Boston, that's not a surprise either. The Cavs, we'll see if they can make that a series. Again, one game doesn't decide everything, but when you're the favorite, the heavy favorite, and you do everything that looks like falls in line with what everybody's eyes have shown them all year, you look at that and you go, Boston's the best team. Cleveland probably doesn't have enough. You watch game 1 and you go, Boston's the better team. Cleveland doesn't have enough. Now, that doesn't mean that's going to happen for 4 straight games, but it might. I mean, I would be very, very surprised if Boston lost this series. Very surprised. I think Cleveland can make it maybe more interesting than game 1. We had the Heat win game 2 in the opening round of that series with Boston. But if you go back to that, why did they win game 2? They really made basically every 3. And so, yeah, you might have to have a couple of games like that to make it interesting. Without Porzingis, though, Boston looked great. It was Derek White. It was Jaylen Brown. It wasn't even really a heavy dose of Jason Tatum. And again, Dave and I talked about this really the last couple of days with all these new teams or different teams coming in. In the end, if it's Boston winning it, I wouldn't say it would be disappointing. That's not fair because obviously if you're a Boston fan, I mean, maybe it's just been more predictable in a postseason that has felt a little bit unpredictable. If it's Boston that wins the title, it's like, yeah,
it wouldn't be as exciting.
Yeah, we just kind of got there. Like, I feel like I would like to see Boston at least under some stress. And when it was 1-1 with Miami, you're like, okay, well, maybe.
I thought you were going to say 1-1 with Cleveland last night.
Oh, yeah. If it was 1-1 with Miami going to Miami, you're like, okay, maybe. And then it was 3-1. You're like, yeah, it's over. And then they ultimately won. But
yeah, Miami needed their greatest playoff game ever.
And barely won. So, not barely won, but they won. So, we'll see. Boston looks great. They looked great last night, and they should be cruising right along. Let's get to cut number 3.
Cut number 3.
The Kia Defensive Player of the Year from the Minnesota Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert.
And now we have a third 4-time winner of this award as Rudy Gobert anchoring the number 1 defense in the NBA. 14 points, 13 rebounds a game. 13 rebounds, number 2 in the NBA. Number 6 in the league in blocks. And for Rudy Gobert, this makes the 4th time in the last 7 years that he is the Kia NBA Defensive Player of the Year.
Congrats to Rudy Gobert. Victor Wembanyama was up there. Bam Adebayo finished 3rd. If you looked further down, way further down, you saw a vote for Domantas Sabonis. How about that? As Ernie Johnson mentioned there, the second leading rebounder was Rudy Gobert. Maybe that voting process was, hey, Sabonis led the league in rebounding. That is part of defense. He led it convincingly, and he did it again. But there you go, Rudy Gobert. We're going to talk about him, especially coming up next, and we got a couple of segments on Rudy Gobert. Just where does he fall in line with his legacy? I mean, you think about great players in this league. I don't feel like Rudy Gobert comes up at all. I would say enough, but I would say at all. And I know when he was a member of the Utah Jazz, so certainly in the Western Conference, and knowing their broadcasting crew and David Locke a little bit, he has been on the show before and defending the greatness of Rudy Gobert. And it was one of those things like, yeah, he's fine. He's more than fine. He's a really good defensive player. And we're trapped in an offensive era, and really everybody is kind of more enamored with offense. But I wonder if you've got a player that's been 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, and we know the importance of defense, and now we know what Minnesota has been doing specifically defensively. How many players would it take until you drafted him? Like, Chris, you and I are at the park, and it's like open fantasy league. Like, we can draft from the entire NBA roster. I don't know when I get to Gobert. I mean, I'm taking Jokic. I'm taking Embiid. Like, if I'm thinking I need a big man, I'm taking Sabonis. I'm taking other people ahead of him because of what other people can do offensively and then give you some defense too.
It's almost like he's the sixth man that starts.
Yeah, and he's got a superpower, which you can't diminish, which is very important. I mean, he feels like he's along the lines of the other 4-time winners. Ben Wallace and Dikembe Mutombo, great players that made the Hall of Fame. And Rudy Gobert is likely going to be a Hall of Famer when you look at a guy that has some offensive limitations. But I guess there could be some players in this league that have so great offensive skills with defensive limitations. Same idea, but what a run for Rudy Gobert winning Defensive Player of the Year. We will talk a little bit more about that. How much did he deserve it? The fact that Sabonis did get a third-place vote and finished 12th. We'll do that. More of a dive in on this when we come back here on Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Kettleman's.
Hey, movie fans, playing this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the IMAX experience.
This was a human place. It is not yours.
It is now, isn't it? The combination of groundbreaking visuals and the immersive experience of the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen will make this an epic event. Don't miss out on the opportunity to see the next chapter, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, at the Esquire IMAX Theater. Grab your tickets at IMAX.com/Sacramento and reserve your seat today.
We all have some things from the past that we might regret, or better yet, might like to get rid of. I'm talking about that mistake you made years ago that still may be haunting you. How great would it be if that could be expunged and gone? Poof! Just like that. But where do you go for something like that? Try the Gonzalez Law Offices. Jonathan Gonzalez is right here in downtown Sacramento, and he's here for you. Maybe you need someone for wrongful termination. Again, the Gonzalez Law Offices. Go to SacLegalDefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187.
Hey, this is Carly, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Chicken Minis is the combination of flavors. The first thing I always taste is the honey butter. It gets me going in the morning. The Chicken Minis are phenomenal. The roll is soft and the chicken is crispy. I never had chicken for breakfast before, but they were so good. I told my mom and sister about them, and now they're a family thing. It's the perfect breakfast bite.
Breakfast starts with Chicken Minis and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app. Real customer paid for their testimonial.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf Monthly lists 10 things great golfers don't do. They don't arrive at the course with minutes to spare. Get there in time to properly warm up. They don't follow one mistake with another. Take your medicine and move on. They don't lose their cool. Tiger takes 10 steps and the problem is gone from his mind. They don't give up. A bad round can always get better. They don't blame their tools. It wasn't the putter's fault you three-putted. And they don't worry about three-putting. Move to the next hole and try again. Great golfers don't take unnecessary risks. Keep those large numbers off the scorecard. They don't underclub. Weekend golfers think they hit the ball farther than they actually do. They don't always hit the driver. Put the big stick back in the bag when it's not behaving. And finally, great golfers don't hit balls randomly. Have a plan on the range and stick to it, and take that same plan to the course. It's a game. Have some fun out there. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't. Right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
Back here on the show, Jason Ross, Christopher Laud. You heard Carmichael Dave earlier in the show, but he'll be out today. Should be back with us tomorrow as we take you till 10. Styles and Watkins will stop by the final segment. Little crosstalk, see what's coming up on their show, and we hit you with celebrity birthdays to round out this Wednesday, May 8th. As we barrel on through spring. I know we had some weather reports earlier, some wind today, but sun. Enjoy it. Enjoy your time out there. Allergy sufferers, if you're like me, sorry about that. For me, I could say for me, I feel like I'm a few weeks away from being out of it. It's usually right around Memorial Day, because that's when it starts to get really hot and kind of everything's hopefully fully bloomed. And for some of my seasonal allergies, but the rest of you, I know there's a lot of you that if you never had allergies and now you're new to Sacramento, it's like you got them. Yep, that's what happens. I said I went on that RV trip this last week and we went up to Humboldt. Trees everywhere, no issue, just none, no problem. I don't get it. Every time I go to Southern California to spy on things down there, fine. Something in the air here, something in the pollen, whatever we've got. I always said when we got a team, like if you know, I know they're going to be the A's here. I always thought we should change a team name to the pollen, something like that. The Sacramento Pollen. Everybody seems
dangerous.
What's that?
It's dangerous.
Yeah, you don't know what they're going to get you, when they're going to get you. The sneak attack. Yesterday, Rudy Gobert was named Defensive Player of the Year. I want to dive into that a little bit more here. We'll do that a couple different times throughout the show. Already had a couple people here on our chat talk about kind of the deep dive. Did you see the golf picture yesterday? Vivek posted. I think it was Vivek, Mike Brown. I saw Alvin Gentry in there. It looked like it was Wes and Monty and Keegan and Malik Monk. Malik Monk. Everybody's analyzing it. He's wearing Kings gear. He's here. He's golfing with everybody. What does that mean, Chris? What does that tell you as our head conspirator from the conspiratory office? What should we read into that?
Oh, they got everything figured out on the golf course. He's staying.
There you go. It's that simple.
It was probably a bet. Like, okay, Monk, if I sink this putt, if Keegan sinks this putt,
and that's
you have to stay.
Yeah. And put on the Kings gear. Let's take the photo. Try to make it seem cool and casual. On a day when you're hearing Orlando's very interested, other people would be interested in Malik Monk. He's like, yeah, but I'm here in Sacramento golfing with my guys. I really want him to stay for multiple reasons. I mean, I like him personally. I really like Malik Monk a lot. I think he's funny. I think he would be. Look, we're getting. I'll speak for myself more than you, Chris, but we're getting to that point where we're getting farther and farther apart from athletes in their there's a time when I first started this business. I'm like, hey, I'm basically the same age as C-Web, and it's like, yeah, we're just buddies, even though we weren't. But in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm whatever. We're the same, even though we're very different. But now you're going, man, some of these guys could be my son. And it's just different but Malik feels like he would be someone really cool to hang with. Doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly, if, hey, you don't golf, but it's like, hey, if you want to go, I'd love to be in his golf cart. Just hang with Malik for the day. That'd be fun.
I think what we would do. I don't know what me and Malik would do.
Yeah. If you had a day with Malik Monk, what are you guys going to do?
I don't know.
Yeah. But would that be one of your
maybe I have him go clothes shopping for me.
For you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Malik.
Take me shopping.
Yeah.
And then that's when the montage starts and the music and you guys are out and about and you come out of the dressing room in these zany outfits and
he's going,
nope. The outfit number 2, nope. And then it's the third one. Yeah. And then Chris, you're like, okay. Would that be your first choice of someone to hang with, you think?
On the Kings?
Yeah.
Probably.
I can't figure out if Keegan would be sneaky fun or if it would just be like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's something there.
I kind of feel bad saying this. I kind of feel like the Kings are a little bit boring.
That's okay. Yeah.
I would say Malik and then probably Trey.
Okay. Yeah, when you start to think about it, I'm like, okay, what would you do? With Barnes, with Keegan? I mean, Fox is pretty low key. Sabonis.
They're parents now.
Yeah, they're more and that's fine. But yeah, it's Malik. It's Malik, I think.
Maybe JaVale.
JaVale might be fun. Yeah. Malik's the choice.
There needs to be a hangout guy on the Kings.
Yeah, I think it's Malik. That's why we need to keep him. So he could be Sacramento's hangout guy. Malik Monk. That's the pitch. But yeah, if you saw the picture yesterday, they were out golfing. I assume it was yesterday or over the weekend. Who knows? But they were all together. Hopefully that's a sign of good things. Well, I think the bottom line is, Malik still is going to get some great offers. I think there's still going to be a connection. He's still going to have friends here. But I hope that all works out. I think that's going to be important to next season's success for the Kings. But as far as next season and current season success for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Game 2 was maybe their best defensive performance, and they did it without the defensive player of the year, who went to Rudy Gobert. Victor Wembanyama finished second. And this, to me, I don't even know if it's a pet peeve because I think it's going too far, but I really feel like this award has really gone now to the big men. And it's so interesting that there are so many gifted guards, ball handlers, wings, or centers that kind of run the offense, that I think people that can guard multiple people on the wing are being underappreciated. And I'm not saying that someone should have gotten it over Rudy Gobert or Wembanyama finishing second, or Bam was third. So we're looking at big men here. But where are the guys why are we not seeing the love for elite perimeter defenders? Marcus Smart won it a few years ago. And you just think there's such a value to that. If you are shutting down the best point guard, the best ball handler, the best scorer on the other team on the perimeter, is that equally as important and efficient as a rim protector, a rebounder, a shot blocker? We have a lot of people talking about the Kings' lack of rim protection, which I I agree. They don't have a ton of that. And I don't want to say it's overrated. That's not my point. But if you had, you want one or the other, either elite person on the perimeter to stop people from getting to the paint, or someone that's the ultimate goalie that's protecting everything in there. And I feel like a lot of times the metrics defensively now are, and what you heard Ernie Johnson read earlier with Gobert, is shots that were blocked or changed, rebounds, all a part of defense, but so are deflections, staying in front of your man, holding other people in the perimeter to steals to less than their normal point total. So I think we get into, if you start to look at, as we're in award season, rookie of the year, it's basically best stats. I don't think wins, losses matter much. MVP seems to be wins, losses combined with, best player on that team with the greatest season. Never always the best player, but one of the greatest seasons, or a team couldn't win without you. Just trying to figure out where these awards are and the meaning behind them. For Gobert, pretty impressive that he has done this, and it makes you wonder as it goes forward, if this stays kind of this big man-centric award, how many will Victor Wembanyama win? If in his rookie year he already finished second, and I think that's the thing he does best, is defense. His offense is good. It's okay. It's going to get better. His defense is already elite, and he changes shots. He can guard multiple people. He can impact the game so much defensively, and we could be looking at a guy.
Crazy how much he kills like a fast break. Like you might be like a 3-on-1 on him.
Yeah,
and everyone's afraid to go at him.
The one that gets me, that when you see him in person, where he changes. There's so many, as the Kings called it this year, the spray three. So they throw it out, and everybody kind of has it in their mind how much space they have, even if someone's sprinting out on a closeout. His stretch and reach, and like it almost changes. I remember he got, I think, Davion Mitchell on one where it was thrown to the corner. Davion has nothing but space, goes to shoot, and Wembanyama still gets out there because of that reach and extension and blocked it. And you're like, man, that's different than anyone else in this league. So we'll see how that ultimately goes. We mentioned earlier that Sabonis did get a third place vote, finished in 12th. All right, when we come back, more to get to. We got back to the NBA playoffs in a moment, but next, safe or out. I know Dave isn't here for this, but we got one of the great jinxes, kind of a weird one to begin with, and safe or out, and more straight ahead here on Sacktown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
Going deep down the sideline for Ayu. He's got it, and he's gone. 10, 5, touchdown! San Francisco! Ayu is on fire!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
The news on vapes talks a lot about the technology and teen use, but parents need to know more about the dangers of nicotine. So know this. 1. Nicotine is a poison that can rewire teens' brains. 2. It can increase mood swings. 3. It can limit attention and learning. So even when it comes in new tech, nicotine is brain poison. Go to undo.org for more.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Across Sacramento, air conditioners are firing up, and with them, power bills are going through the roof. Are you ready for your utility bill to soar even higher next month? Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners save money because going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. We call it the Aztec Paycheck. How big of a paycheck? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much money you'll save every month. Find out how much you'll save now at yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable. Stop paying the power company and start paying yourself. Looking for a deal? Here's a timely offer from Aztec Solar. You can own a solar electric system for just $99.95. Cash price after incentives. Don't waste another dollar. Visit yourpowersavings.com and keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome to the May Springtime Sales Event at Kia of Vacaville. Are you ready for an exceptional automotive journey? We're excited to present to you the pinnacle of automotive excellence, the Kia Telluride. As May unfolds, come explore the remarkable features of the Kia Telluride. Beyond being just a vehicle, it embodies a lifestyle with a seamless blend of sophistication and practicality. The Telluride is ready to elevate your driving experience to extraordinary heights. Whether you're embarking on a family getaway or navigating busy city streets, the Kia Telluride offers unparalleled comfort and innovation. Moreover, with Kia's unwavering commitment to safety and reliability, you can drive with absolute confidence wherever your adventures take you. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Experience the exceptional Kia Telluride firsthand. Visit us today at Kia of Vacaville and take advantage of exclusive offers during the May Springtime Sales Event. Your adventure awaits. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets excellence. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia of Vacaville for more details.
The NBA playoffs are here, and we all know playoff mode is a thing. Listen to the evidence. Playoff crowds are going wild. Playoff players are lighting up the court. Even your speakers are in playoff mode. Okay, we'll take it down a notch, but just a notch, because this is the turn it up to 11 NBA playoffs. Playoff mode is clearly a thing. The NBA playoffs presented by Google Pixel continue on ABC, ESPN, and TNT.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, it is that time. Each and every day at this time, we go around baseball. Check out some things that we describe as safe or out, as asked from Chris Verlot. Chris, number 1.
Greg Amsinger called for a no-hitter watch before the Dodgers' Yoshinobu Yamamoto threw a single pitch. The Marlins' Jazz Chisholm proceeded to hit the first pitch out of the park. Safe or out? The announcer jinx is a real thing.
Let's hear how it played out yesterday.
But we are already a no-hitter alert. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, before he throws a single pitch tonight against the Marlins, we have a no-hitter alert. Okay. Enjoy what could be a no-hitter from Yamamoto.
You know Jazz swing your first pitch.
Right here on MLB Network for Harold. See why I'm Greg. We have a no-hitter alert. Enjoy this game live on MLB Network.
Boy,
It's in the major leagues to establish himself as that guy. Dodgers looking for a 6th straight win and a 13th out of their last 15 after they took the first game 6-3 last night. Yamamoto comes home, and off we go. And the aggressive Marlins get a first pitch swing and a high fly ball and a home run for Jazz Chisholm on the first pitch.
I saw that clip last night. My only request would have been I wish they would have bounced back to the MLB Network studio to see what that crew was doing. Just laughing giddy at Greg Amsinger or not. The announcer jinx thing is real when it happens, right?
No one talks about it when it doesn't happen.
Right. And I know I'm going to say for a fact, I have tried that in different broadcasts, whether it's for Sac State or for the Kings, Monarchs, whoever, whatever team I'm broadcasting for that I am trying to have influence. I've done this many times, Chris, where I've gone, I think the last game I did, did a game a year and a half ago for G-Man. The Kings were playing the Hawks, I remember. Let's just say, Trae Young hasn't missed a free throw. He's made 18 free throws in a row as he goes to the line. So I'm saying that just basically trying to see if he'll miss. And there's been times where he's missed that next free throw. And it's like, hey, I did it. And there's been times where then he makes it. It's like, oh, there's 19 in a row. So, yeah, I guess it's real when – I mean, I know I've watched games where they'll put, the kicker. He's made 83 in a row from this distance. Oh, why would you put that graphic up there? Sometimes he makes it. Sometimes they miss. I'm not a big believer in it. I know plenty of people are, but that one's pretty funny. I think it was just a funny bit that even came up with that, like, hey, we are no-hitter alert. Usually that comes up, about 5 innings in? He's like, he did it before the first pitch, and it was literally the first pitch of the game.
It's actually more impressive.
Yeah, I actually think his call was beautiful. So there you go. All right, safer out number 2.
Kyle Harrison threw 7 shutout innings in Colorado as the Giants won 5-0. Safer out. A shutout at Coors Field is the best of all shutouts.
I mean, if you're thinking about parks, yeah, it's one of the higher scoring parks. Tough. It's a very hitter friendly park. You got the altitude. The Rockies are not a great team, but that's irrelevant. We're talking more about the park. And there have been more heartbreaking losses for teams, Giants specifically, over the years, where it's like, oh, they got this game and it's like 9-4 in the 7th, and then they lose 15-13. I mean, just something crazy. But yeah, and Harrison's starting to deal a little bit here lately, which is good for them and good for him. I would say, yeah, that's safe. I mean, if you're thinking about, there are other hitter-friendly parks, let's put it that way, but this is one that traditionally over the years just pitchers have struggled with, and it makes sense. So to me, for sure, that's very impressive. That is safe. All right, number 3.
The Rangers took game 2 from the A's 15-8, including a 10-run second inning. The A's have now lost 3 in a row. Safer out. Uh-oh.
No, that's out. I don't think anything is uh-oh for the A's, even if it's, I mean, what we're doing now, what we're watching now is more enjoyable. But what are the expectations, which are incredibly low? So I think right now they're still in the race. There's still nothing that's done any damage. They have a doubleheader today. They could be just fine and get right back in it with 2 straight wins over Texas. They've had a really tough schedule. They've outperformed. They've got a team that's hit better than people thought. The back end of the bullpen, Mason Miller's unbelievable. I mean, the game is over if they can get the lead into the 8th or 9th inning. So they've got something. They're building something. Now, again, expectations, people thought this team would win in the 40s, just be one of the worst baseball teams of all time. Right now, it doesn't look like that. I guess it could still develop that way, but I don't feel like it's an uh-oh. I feel the game 2 days ago, they were leading into the 8th inning, and then Corey Seager hit the 3-run home run before they got to Mason Miller. So that was about to be another win and put them above 500. Instead, they lost that game, dropped below, and now they go a couple games below. I think they've been a nice story. I was watching the Yankees game a little bit yesterday, too. They ended up talking about it was the national game on MLB Network, and they ended up talking about the A's as well, how they've been able to navigate through this mess. So I would say it's not a at all. It's enjoyable.
Jason, there's only 110 games left in the season.
They're going to be okay?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. So you're saying uh-oh?
There's only 110 games left in the season.
That means I have time to get my streak going. We'll have more on that coming up as well. All right, first hour is complete. We got a lot more to get to here. When we come back in the next hour, still 3 for Madness. Let's go over some of the NBA playoff series as well. We got another game going tonight when we get to what to watch. It's only one game tonight. We got a game 2 with the Pacers and the Knicks. We got to cover the last 2-minute report, which did not look very good for the New York Knicks in this sense, but it really crushed the Pacers. We'll discuss that. But when we come back, Boston, anybody beating these guys? Boston beats Cleveland. They go up 1-0. We'll take a look at the playoffs in the night last night when we come back here on Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name Clay as the promo code at lifelock.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Progressive asks, what do an escaped leopard,
We're live from the zoo where a leopard has escaped.
a growling stomach, an uneaten tuna sandwich, and a backdoor doggy door have in common? They can lead to an unexpected kitchen renovation.
Yeah, hi. Is this the zoo? Your leopard is in my kitchen.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet at Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's going on for Chrysler's It's the Season sales event?
Right now, you can save up to $8,000 off MSRP on those hard-to-find new 2024 Ram heavy-duty trucks, starting as low as $49,495. Plus, we have over 500 new Ram trucks available, which means the Ram truck you want is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center.
But why drive all the way to Hoblet?
We do things different here at Hoblet. You're not just a number. When you buy from Hoblet, you become family. There's a reason we are California's #1 Ram truck dealer and #3 in the nation. We have the big city selection and savings, but the small town feel you can't find at an auto mall.
Now is the time to get the new Ram truck of your dreams. Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 8,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 Laramie's after 7,500 dealer discount and 500 factor rebates. 5% net savings, 49,495 net price after 2,500 factor rebates. Rebates include 1,500 Ram commercial bonus cash. Not everyone will qualify. 5% net savings, sample VIN 197372.
Guys, are you ready to give up because you think you've tried everything and you're still dealing with loss of energy, poor sleep, weight gain, and even ED? Revive Men's Health Sacramento has local medical providers that offer low T and ED treatments customized to each patient's unique physical makeup. By working with a specialized compounding lab, personalized treatments are guaranteed, even when generic pills and supplements haven't worked. It all starts with your free comprehensive exam and consultation. Availability is limited. Book today, and for this month only, Revive offers qualified patients a free 1-month supply of personalized ED medication, plus a free ED treatment producing immediate results. The experts at Revive Men's Health Sacramento will work to provide the right treatment for you so you can show up as the best you in all aspects of your life. Call 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566. Or send them a private message at revivemenshealth.com.
Taste on a whole new level at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. Enjoy the height of hospitality, whether you're craving an upscale steakhouse, authentic Chinese hot pot and dim sum, or having a refreshing beverage while watching the game. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
We're going to get into the Eastern Conference with the Celtics dismantling of the Cavaliers last night, game 1. All these games, for the most part, have been seen on TNT. It's kind of night appointment television for many of you out there, myself included. And I know we touched on this, Dave and I, yesterday or the day before, but as these basketball contract negotiations go on, and I don't know how you guys all feel about that kind of stuff. I know we talked in the first hour a little bit about disconnect with money and athletes and sports figures and team valuations and all that kind of stuff. I feel like you can lump the same thing in, Chris, with television rights, because in the end, as long as I have the ability to watch the games on whatever platform I'm going to find them, but I'm so comfortable with TNT. And I think that show has become so iconic with Ernie and Shaq and Kenny and Charles that if it truly does play out where some of the speculation is that TNT loses, I think their big boss has even said, yeah, we don't need the NBA. I think you do. And but I can't tell if that's me saying I think you do because that's what I know and that's what it's been and that's what's grown, or basketball will still be fine if it's on NBC or some other, other platform, Amazon or something, but it may not be Shaq, Ernie, Chuck, and Kenny again. And that to me is not only will I miss it, but I think that's bad for the game. And do you care, like wherever you get your main things that you watch, whether if it's soccer, if that changed platforms, would that be a big deal for you? Because you've become so accustomed.
The weird thing with soccer is there's so many. So then you've got your EPL stream that you have to have. Then you have your FA Cup stream, which is ESPN.
But are some better than others to you?
Yes.
Okay.
And ironically, the Champions League, which is CBS, which is kind of Turner, has that. I think what they got was that same feel of what TNT has done with their pre and halftime show and all of that. Towards like, hey, we're all here for a good time. We don't have to talk about statistics the entire time.
Right.
Which has made it a lot more fun, which I think, I mean, if you could take that essence, I'm not saying that I wouldn't want to see more of them, but I mean, they're all getting older. It's not going to last forever.
Right.
Like you would like to see what someone else could do with that same format. Like I hope they don't I hope NBC doesn't get the NBA and then it's just like,
let's try to copy it.
Not just that, or it's just cookie cutter pre-post halftime show of like, oh, this could be whatever.
Yeah. Well, I feel like people try to copy. I mean, it's a very successful show, and not that's. I'm still watching the games, but that's turned into one of the pre-half post-game shows that I do enjoy and that I do watch. We talk a lot about, like, we were trying to make our perfect football booth last week. It's like, yeah, I mean, I will watch the pre-games and the post-games, but it's not, it just kind of, if it's on, it's on. I don't make it a point.
Like, they've done a great job of, if you see something stupid in the first half, you're like, oh, I can't wait to see what they're going to say about that.
They're going to make fun of this again. So they'll bring this back, and I got to watch the post. Yeah, I find myself enjoying the post-game probably more than the pre-game for TNT. But anyway, I feel like the network, it's got other stuff on there, but I don't know. What's on there now? Charmed, probably, for the 19th time.
You got AEW wrestling.
Right. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. And, I saw this post, and I know we've joked about it before, but like someone had just said, because like if truly, Apple TV's got stuff, and Peacock and Amazon, if more outlets end up with, independent outlets like that end up with sports, someone said, yeah, we need to find a way to put all this stuff together. Oh, you mean like cable? Like we had? That's what cable was. I don't know. But if they all end up there, then I'll end up having to figure out a way to have them all.
I almost have a feeling it's going to become more niche to where we have all these viewing shows now. Like you've got the Manning Cast as the big one on ESPN.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that, and I can't remember what it was. It was one of the Kings games. It was Kings, the play-in game with the
Warriors?
Kings and the Pelicans. And they had like a betting viewing thing.
Okay. Is that all? Yeah. So last night I saw it on the guide. I was watching the game, and then I saw a few channels lower. So if it was TNT, it might have either been True TV or TBS, had also the Thunder and the Mavs game, but I don't know if it was a different cast or a betting one. I almost went to it, but I just left it on TNT.
Yeah, I think
don't
it's
know
like
what
a
that
betting
is.
one.
Okay.
Like they talk about odds of what's going on, and
So it's
live
other people
betting and
hosting
things.
it.
Yes.
Got it.
But it's like a viewing thing. Where to like they show the game, but they've got all of like the odds.
I remember, I think we were doing the midday show together the first time. What event would that have been? I feel like it was a college football national championship. I think it was the first time maybe ESPN put together like another view.
Oh, there's like 3 or 4. I think. Oh,
yeah,
I
they
think
had a
it was
bunch that day, and it was the first time they did it. But I remember watching, like hearing all the different ones. I think they had.
It was like the home. It was like
Right.
the college.
Yeah, it might have been Clemson's. I'm throwing teams together that may not have been there. Clemson's, like the regular one,
Yeah.
a Clemson one, an Alabama one, and then there was like the house.
Yes.
And the house, I'm like, okay, at the time, I think it was like Michelle Beadle, Colin Cowherd, Bill Walton, Jalen Rose. I'm like, Jay Billis. I go, what is this mess? I go, I got to watch that. And then I watched it, and it was more enjoyable than I thought it would be. I'm like, why am I going to watch other people watching the game instead of the game? But I found myself watching that for a little bit, and I go, well, that was the start of something. And Manning Cast, I actually like Manning Cast.
Yes. I think they do a good job of melting everything together to where you're getting insight from them of like, oh, I think they're going to do this. I think they're going to do that. But then also interviewing guests. I think they've got like I think that's what Monday Night Football originally was supposed to be like, ironically, is what the Manning Cast is now.
Yeah. And I think they do have the good mix. It's like TNT, like, sometimes I'm there for the serious breakdown of what TNT does, but I'm also there for them making fun of themselves. And the Mannings do a good job of that. But then there's times where you're like, man, when they've got, I don't know, Joe Burrow in there and they're doing like a really good quarterback breakdown. And like before the play, they're like, oh, tight end up high on the release. I'm like, wait, what? Like, what are they seeing? Like they all see it before the snap. And then like, that's the throw. I'm like, okay, I've watched football forever. Like, what are they seeing? And then other times they're goofing on, hey, how about the time and they got funny videos and stuff. And they do a really good job. The A-Rod Michael K thing never took off. Neither did the Stephen A. Smith and whatever one he was doing for a while when the basketball and baseball tried to copy them. But anyway,
I want to see like a Marshawn watching everything.
That would be interesting.
Like there should be something like, hey, Marshawn is going to watch something for an hour.
Right. And comment on it.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be good. They know how to get the true appeal there. So we'll see if that ends up being a big deal for TNT. Last night, TNT did have the first game on, and it was Boston beating up on Cleveland to take a 1-0 series lead. No real surprise there at all in that one. Maybe the surprise is how good Boston looked without Porzingis, because this team, my only flaw that I see with the Celtics that I have seen all year is the depth being a potential issue, but it's been none. I mean, it's been absolutely zero. And we're now watching a Knicks team that is losing more players and is just playing about 6 guys a night, 7 guys a night. But they spread their minutes around. I mean, that starting 5 of Brown, White, Holiday, Horford, and Tatum is incredible. And, you know, when you're looking at ways to make a team, I think I know I do. I look at this like, okay, what are the Kings missing? We talked about Rudy Gobert earlier, and a lot of people on our YouTube chat were like, the Kings need someone like Rudy Gobert. Sure, that would be great. There's not a lot of them, but is Rudy Gobert the answer? I look at Boston when, you know, they acquired a guy like Derek White. Seemed like it kind of went a bit under the radar. But to me, those are the kind of moves that every good team is able to make. Like the Kings really have some good foundation pieces in Sabonis, Fox. I do believe Keegan Murray is going to be that guy that really continues to elevate his game. Again, we got to give him more time to make the full evaluation. We did this yesterday with a guy like Jalen Brunson, and who was, you know, several years in the league, was doing some things, but nothing that, you know, blew anybody away. And now he's one of the game's clutch, great performers. So it took him some time. It takes people different amount of time, needs opportunity. But you need to get more moves like, you know, the first year Kevin Huerter is here. That looked like an incredible move for the Kings. Getting Malik Monk felt like an incredible move for the Kings. So more things like that. Doesn't always have to be, hey, they got the defensive player of the year. They got this type of thing is exactly what they need. They need more talent that fits in a perfect way. So many times it's about fit as opposed to acquiring the most amount of talent. And I think if you look at Tatum, Horford, Holiday, White, Brown, and Porzingis, that top 6 with a guy like Pritchard, then the depth doesn't seem to be as much of an issue, because if you're playing, I don't know, Cornette with 3 of those other main guys, he's fine. And so Boston cruised 40-point first quarter, never really looked back, won comfortably. They're tough to beat anywhere. And I know they're confident and certainly on a mission as they took game 1, 120-95. We'll talk about the West a little bit later. When we come back, though, we've got 3 questions. We've got 3 answers, and it's all brought to you by, or it's all 3 for Madness. It's all coming your way when we come back right here on Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for 3, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. Now, I've told you this before, but this is what we call extending a good deal. Right now, American Energy Heat and Air is offering an HVAC diagnostic for $99. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Never mind. They're offering it free. It's a $99 value, but you get it for $0. Let the American Energy team test your system connections and all the moving parts of that system to ensure that it's functioning properly. Now, this is a limited time offer. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Speak to the company that has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau that's been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, we got 3 for Madness coming your way in just a moment from our text line at 916-339-1140. Also, you can hit us up on our YouTube page on Sacktown Sports, watching the show. We were talking about TNT. Personalities make the shows. I don't watch much of ESPN coverage other than the game because it's just not entertaining to me. The TNT show is entertaining. If NBC was smart, they'd just bring over the whole inside crew. Yes, but I think it's already been stated publicly that Ernie Johnson would not go. Ernie is faithful to Turner. He's been there for like 4 decades, and they still have golf coverage, baseball stuff he could still host. I know he'd miss basketball in those guys.
AEW, I'd like to see him get in the ring there.
In the ring?
Yeah, like interview the wrestlers.
Okay, yeah. Ernie's so good. Ernie's really good. It's funny is a lot of people don't like his play-by-play. I would say I don't love it. I'm such a big fan of him. So it's his baseball play-by-play, I think it's fine. But his studio hosting, he just the perfect leader, quarterback of that group. He's just pushes the right buttons, reels them in when they need to, lets them go when they need to. He's a good listener. Ernie does a great job. All right, let's get to question number 1.
Do you think Rudy Gobert deserved the Defensive Player of the Year award?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Chris, you wanted Victor Wembanyama to win one of his many that he's about to win, probably. It's the question I brought up earlier. Again, Minnesota's defense was great, but is that all Gobert? He's a huge part of it. I think their perimeter defenders are really good. Jaden McDaniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Conley is a savvy defender. Edwards is a good defender. But Gobert is their anchor, and, he did a great job. They were the number 1 defense. They had a great record. He had good stats. I really don't have an issue with him being that. I guess my question, like I brought up earlier, is where's the love for the perimeter defenders? I still think there's as much importance, if not more sometimes, in being able to slow down a Steph Curry, a LeBron, a De'Aaron Fox, whoever it might be in this league, that you're trying to limit their scoring capabilities. And it's not always done with blocking shots, changing shots, and rebounding. That's a huge part of it. But deflection, steals, limiting, bothering, hand checking, staying out of foul trouble. Hey, James Harden averages 25. This player held him to 16. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander averages 30. Against this player, he only was getting 18. Well, that perimeter player is doing some serious work. So I just hope that's not forgotten. I don't know that I have a candidate that should have done that. So with all that being said, no real issue with Rudy Gobert. It's just trying to find his place, his legacy in this league. All right, question number 2.
Question 2.
Jamal Murray was fined $100,000 for throwing a water bottle on the floor. Does he get suspended if Denver is up 2-0?
Yeah, it was that in the Heat pack. Like he had a couple of different things that were going on in that game.
It's so weird.
I'm stunned that he wasn't suspended. So I don't think it was a matter of the series or the score. I think it's the only thing I could think of, Chris, honestly, is this is out of character and like a first-time violation. But you still go, I mean, look, I'm not here to defend a John Morant or Draymond Green that have had multiple infractions, and the second and third and fourth penalties have become worse. But I know Draymond suspended 100%. I was certain Jamal Murray would be suspended.
Strangely, when people are like, "Oh, he got off light," and I'm like, $100,000 for what he did. Like, if that was a regular season game, I think he gets suspended. I don't think that there's a fine. And I feel like almost like I'm not saying that this is what happened, but it almost feels like the league went up to him and said, "Hey, we're going to have to hit you with something. Do you want us to take a game away from you, or do you want a huge fine?"
Oh, give me the largest fine possible.
That's what it feels like it was.
Yeah, because, and this is where the league can also get in trouble a little bit, or at least the perception. It's like, if it's a suspension, it's suspension. If it's a foul, it's a foul. Like it's, I would rather him be there. I think it gives them a better chance, but you still can't do that.
Yeah, because it feels like what we had last year with Draymond Green. Like if he stomps Sabonis like that in the regular season, it's not one game. It's probably like 2 or 3 games.
Right.
And then people flipping out like, "Oh my God, how can you suspend him for that?"
Yeah, and they're
like,
down 2-0.
If they're saying that in the regular season, they're probably like, "Yeah, he probably deserved it."
Yeah. Yeah, I really want to think that the league doesn't take series score into kind of an account. I don't think they should, but I was surprised. I mean, the fine doesn't surprise me. The lack of suspension, I really thought he would be suspended. I really did. So, bit surprising to me. All right, question.
And I hate doing this, but like, what if someone got hurt?
Right, and that's the thing. It's like, to me, a lot of times the result of what happened is what the penalty becomes. Like, okay, so I'm almost guaranteeing Towns was the closest player there, and actually his own player, I think it was KCP. on that water pack or whatever, heat pack, whatever it was. But if Towns like rolled his ankle on the play, he's definitely suspended, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you still threw it. So it's still the fact that you threw it. It's not because it shouldn't be because of the result. And it's a little bit like when we say when players yelling at fans, oh my gosh, that could have spilled the whole thing. Everybody in the arena could have been in jeopardy. Yes. But does it take everybody in the arena being in jeopardy for this? It's like, why do we have to wait on the result? It's like maybe it would be a larger one, but hey, if you threw it, you threw it. If he doesn't throw it, nobody gets hurt. None of this even happens. But I was really surprised that he didn't get suspended. All right, let's get to question 3.
Question 3.
The last 2-minute report came out yesterday and showed 4 blown calls and non-calls in the Pacers-Knicks Game 1. Jason, how does that make you feel? Better?
No. What's interesting is the one that I know got a lot of the first like publicized note on the last 2-minute report came from the quote unquote screen, the illegal screen called on Miles Turner that resulted in Indiana having the last possession, seemingly the last possession, down by 1, moving screen. DiVincenzo flops back or gets, he gets screened. He gets hit pretty hard, but he flops back, gets an offensive foul that's challenged, looked at, and then ruled in favor of the way it was called on the floor. And the first thing that's publicly kind of stated was that screen was deemed legal by the NBA. Well, of course, because they reviewed it, they called it, they reviewed it, and then they looked at it again. I mean, if that would have been the biggest crime, if you've called it, reviewed it, and said it's right, and then the last 2-minute report says that's wrong, that's a huge issue. Now, the other calls, it goes back to what we've talked about many times before about the last 2-minute report. I'm not a fan of it. I never will be a fan of it. I think a lot of people can't wait for it to come out to what? To show that one team got the wrong end of a call multiple times? Yes, that's what it did. Pacers were on the wrong end of that. I do not believe it's 8 against 5. I never will. I think if you start to get that road, I don't even know why you watch. I mean, I don't. I'm not. There are going to be nights where a team gets the wrong end of the whistle. That's just the way it's going to happen. It doesn't feel right, doesn't feel fair, but I really try to equate this in this way. We seemingly hold the referees to a standard that I think is unfair. I'm going to just say it that way. I want them to get every call right. I know that they won't. I think they do a good job. Some nights they have better nights, just like players. I got to believe, look, I think in anything you do, I've called NBA games before, and there's been nights where I left the arena going, I think I had a pretty good game tonight. And there's been nights like, man, I was tongue-tied. I didn't say the things I wanted to say. I had all these other notes that I wanted to get in. I didn't feel as good as I could be better. It's just the way life works. I mean, and I have my own expectations. Probably listeners have their own expectations, viewers, fans of the referees. But we've all seen a bad call that we've seen think is terrible and dictates the outcome of the game. Why do players miss shots late? Why do players turn the ball over? We're all human. They make mistakes. And I don't know if that's like the take people want to hear, but I don't know any other way around it. I think this way too. We either should have way more replay or none. Like, I think this middle ground, like once you start to establish reviews, and that for the most part, the reviews help get the calls more in the correct realm. It's not perfect because unless you've got full, proof to change the call, we've seen that situation where it's like, hey, it's called one way. Oh man, I can't really tell even off a review. But if the point is for review to get calls right, then why wouldn't we have more of it? And if we say, hey, it's human, they're going to make mistakes, then just take it out. Or we have it the way we do. And you have the last 2-minute report, and it's transparency, and it shows the league and the refs and their honesty and their mistakes. I know they make mistakes. I hope you guys realize that too. And I just don't think it's that beneficial. I don't see the benefit of it for the league. I really don't. So Indiana fans, if this happens again in the series, look, we lived it here so closely and probably to this day are still not over 2002. And people go, oh, the Kings got screwed. That's the perception. That's the feel. And maybe that's the reality. You still don't think the Kings could have won that series, even with all of that? I know you do. I know you probably still think the Kings got screwed. I'm not saying you're wrong. I know when Doug Christie, when I worked with him here, I know he thinks they should have won that series. And I don't think he really puts that much, like if there's a pie chart of the blame as a player, you're putting that on yourselves. You're not putting that on your coaches. You're not putting that on the refs. You're putting that on yourselves. And so that doesn't make me feel any better that the last 2-minute report said that Indiana kind of got the raw end of that. I saw it. I thought they did too. Well, maybe they get the better whistle tonight. Maybe they get the wrong whistle again tonight. It's just kind of the way this thing works. Right or wrong. All right, last night, OKC didn't really need the benefit of the whistle. It's only game 1. I still like Dallas in this series, though my mind, I can't change. I'm not going to be that stubborn. But game 1 makes you believe that OKC is legit and real, and I think we should think that already. But they looked good, and we'll kind of go over what went right for them, what went wrong for Dallas. We'll do that when we come back here on Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Wednesday, and it's going to be a windy and a bright day out there. After a comfortable morning start, looking at plenty of sunshine with that north wind about 10 to 20 this afternoon, highs in the low 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and zero down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Cattleman's.
Do you hear that? That's your air conditioner working overtime this summer. But it's not just the temperature that's rising, so is your electric bill. Stop paying sky-higher rates for your electricity with a solar electric system from Aztec Solar. Finally, you can calculate your monthly savings when you go solar without sitting through a 2-hour in-home sales pitch. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much you'll save each month by going solar. Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners with solar pool heating, solar electricity, and backup energy storage. Going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. How much will your paycheck be? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Yourpowersavings.com. Looking for a deal today? Now you can own a solar electric system for just $99.95 cash offer after incentives. Act now. This offer expires soon. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
With the best in local sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
So inside our building, we've got, kind of upstairs, downstairs. It's kind of a separation of the on-air crew and then everyone else. The others. Everyone else doing the hard work downstairs. But we have owner's rights up here, I would say. We don't like it when people come up. They'll come up here and use our bathrooms up here.
Yeah, come on.
You got a bathroom.
Use your downstairs bathroom.
That's right. I don't I've gone in there. Yeah, maybe percentage of so there's two bathrooms upstairs, one larger, one downstairs. On the pie chart, I'm at like 98% upstairs, maybe 2% down, maybe 1% downstairs.
Yeah, probably. I'm up there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we've got our areas. They got a kitchen down there. We don't have that up here. But I saw in our kind of the back area where, some of our upstairs equivalent offices are, looks like there's a prepping for a Christopher Lott office.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that.
How's that make you feel?
Weird. I never thought I'd work in an office.
Are you going to decorate it?
Yes.
Oh, you've got plans?
I've had a friend say like, okay, how big's the office?
It's a good size office.
And they're like, can something like 12 by 8 fit in there? And I'm like, what's the plan here?
What are they up to?
I have no idea.
Oh, it's a surprise?
Yeah.
So you don't have to tell me who the friend is. Based on the friend, do you think, well, it sounds like a picture or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even lead the thought. But are you comfortable enough with the friend to say, yes, I will put that in the office? No matter what, without knowing what it is.
Oh, I feel comfortable even if it should be uncomfortable.
You kind of want that.
It's the friend that has decorated our studio with the different pillows in sight.
Oh. Where's that pillow?
Uh-oh. Did someone steal it? I think it might be like right here. Like like right in front.
It's not in the dog bed, is it? We'll find it. It might be in that box, which I think is also Dave's box. You know what that box is from, I think? I think that's from the egg stuff.
When was that? During the season.
Not the start of the season, because that was with you and me and Brendan. I don't know, a couple months ago. Have you used that?
I have.
Yeah, I have too. I used it last week a couple times. It's a great invention. We're going to get into the OKC and Dallas game from last night. A little more feedback from those of you out here. By the way, I still kind of have an office over there. Like I used to have one more so when I was doing more management type stuff. But like we could cut a little hole in the wall and like pass notes in between.
Yeah. Or we should get the cup with the wire.
Yeah, exactly. Of course. We just be stupid games. Why not? We were talking about the potential of TNT not having NBA basketball. And a lot of you have weighed in on that. And that show was not the show without Ernie. If they don't have a way to bring Ernie over, then the whole thing is over anyway. TNT owes it to Ernie to tell him he could do both if he wants. Stay at TNT, and those games are the priority. But he could do NBC, NBA when available, kind of like Mark Jones does when he's with ESPN. Well, that's something that they have to agree upon. I will say this. The one thing I've definitely noticed in maybe the last maybe 5 years, Chris, like I felt like it was taboo before to have, for example, you're watching the 49ers on Fox, and they may literally have a graphic that says, hey, NFL tonight, check out the Sunday night game on NBC, and it'll be the Rams and Seahawks. I'm like, wow, Fox is talking about a game on NBC, or now it feels like it's more about promoting the sport than the network, because now they talk about networks all the time, and Jim Nantz might do the Masters, but he's also on ESPN before the coverage shifts over to CBS. So there's much more sharing of talent and sharing of broadcast than there ever used to be that I can remember.
And going back with Ernie, I believe that Turner was just like, do whatever you would like to do.
Yeah, and he might just be like, yeah,
because we saw that with Joe Buck.
When
like Troy Aikman went to ESPN, it was basically like, all right, we'll work something out so you could do what you want to do type of thing.
Yeah, and I was surprised Joe went to ESPN because of all his years of doing baseball. Like on Fox, he had football and baseball. And I mean, that's what he grew up with his dad calling Cardinals games and baseball games, and he did Cardinals. And now basically he's I don't want to say just football, but that's what he's doing. So
I want to see, there's talk about him doing golf at ESPN.
Yeah, probably. And he did some golf with Fox too. So, I know when Tirico left ESPN to go to NBC when Al Michaels was still the primary guy, I thought, boy, that's a weird move. He's given up on like NBA basketball, some college tournament games, golf, all that stuff. He could get golf on NBC, but now he's at NBC. He got the Sunday night football package. He's going to be like the Olympic host.
Also did Notre Dame.
Yeah. So he
also, I mean, like, I'm sure they're having this conversation just like, hey,
this is where we're going.
We're looking at NBA going forward.
Yeah.
And you might be our guy.
Exactly. So that could all work out well for a guy like him to be at NBC already. All right. So let's say this about last night in OKC and Dallas. Just one game. I told you before the series I like Dallas. My caveat on this, though, and I'm not going to be, like I said earlier, so stubborn that like, well, I picked Dallas, I'm going to stick with Dallas. I'm not going to change on one game, but what I might change on, Luka doesn't look right to me, and Luka tripped early in the game, and
you got sausage arms and cankles.
You know, when he fell, I don't know any other way to say this. Like, there are world-class athletes, and Luka is so good. But, Chris, the best way I could say it, he fell is like how I would fall present day.
Yes.
As someone in advanced age.
Like, you see a lot of athletes, when they start to fall, they'll, like, roll with it. Or they'll
smooth.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're funny, and they do, like, a flip or, like, roll over. Like, whatever. And it's like he fell, like, again, like, if I tripped over this chair in the office, like, oh, it's kind of funny. Like, you okay? I don't know. You know, like, there's a moment, like, and he fell, and he looked. He's like, but again, this is one of the best basketball players on the planet. But athletically and physically, I don't know that he's right. And I don't know that he's, like, you know, completely inhibited from being great. It's just he doesn't look 100% to me. And if that's the case, it's going to be difficult for Dallas. But if he can get closer to that form, him and Kyrie, and they figure some things out, I think they're a really good rebounding team. I think that's an area where they could do some damage on OKC, though they didn't last night. Something to watch. But OKC has been awesome. They've been on a roll, and they're continuing this thing in a positive direction right now. And I think it'll clearly be a fun series. And, you know, as Kings supporters, Kings fans out there listening, I've kind of asked this question as the playoffs gone on. I feel I'll speak for myself. Like, of the four teams that are left, Denver, Dallas, OKC, Minnesota, I really, truly don't have a preference. I don't. I will say this. I'm still mad at Dallas. I'm mad at Luka for falling on Malik and kind of hurting his season and in some sense, the end of the Kings season. I feel like I would accept it the easiest if Denver got back again. I know they're down 0-2 and they're in trouble going to Minnesota, but that doesn't feel like that anybody truly in definition passed the Kings. I know you can go, well, OKC has already done it. Minnesota has already done it. Dallas has done it. They did it this year. Now, does that mean they stay there? Maybe. Does that mean this was 1 year wonder? Maybe. We've got to see how it goes, because that was the example I gave the other day about, especially if it's OKC versus Minnesota, we will then have 8 different Western Conference teams make the conference finals in 4 years. And we will have our 12th team make the Western Conference finals in 11 seasons. So that's all while in that run, we had a dynasty of the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors, in their 5 years in a row of making the conference finals, faced 4 different teams. So they faced Houston twice, but you had different teams in there. And so along that run, my point here is, oh man, is any of these teams like Minnesota, Dallas, Denver, and maybe some feel Denver, and or OKC, are they becoming the next Warriors? Or are they that Houston team that pops in once? Are they the Portland team that popped into a conference final? Are they a Phoenix team that popped into a conference final? It doesn't all work that way. Like when somebody
finals for the Phoenix Suns,
and they made it all the way to the finals, and then haven't been back to the conference finals since. So, the Lakers have been there. Like, is it a one and done, or is it something here to stay? And yes, they're young, makes you believe that they're here to stay, but that's not how the league works. It's just not. Memphis was young last year. They were the 2 seed. Every reason to believe, hey, a better year will be the 1 seed. Well, reasons, obviously, with Ja Morant, Steven Adams, different things that happen, injuries, boom, their season's derailed. The Kings, they were a young team. They were 3 seed. Well, they should be better than that. They didn't make the playoffs. The Warriors, though, all that experience, they get another run at it. Those young guys will help them. They didn't make the playoffs. Lakers, conference finals a year ago. Good offseason additions. And you still have LeBron and AD out in round 1. We're looking at the Rockets coming up and the Spurs coming up. All those things look promising. Minnesota was not talked about as being a team that could get this far before the year. OKC certainly wasn't going to be the 1 seed. Things aren't promised. Things aren't guaranteed. You've got to enjoy the season you have and make the most of what you have. And when you're these 4 that are here, even Denver down 0-2, you still have an opportunity. Dallas down 0-1, still have an opportunity. OKC and Minnesota ahead in their series. Young teams with an opportunity. Got to strike while you can. And it's been fun. It's been fun to see some fresh blood in there, and we'll see how that goes. All right, speaking of fresh blood, we're getting an opportunity to see some new players picked coming up in the NBA draft. The lottery is coming up this weekend. We'll talk a little bit about that with the Kings odds and what we can expect. We got that and more on the NBA as we continue here on Sacktown Sports.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Hi, this is Jeremiah, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Chicken Minis is that soft roll with that honey butter brushed on it. It's so fluffy, like a cloud. It might be a mini, but it doesn't taste like a mini. That sweet, savory bite and that fluffy roll with that honey butter on it and that crispy chicken, it's an awesome way to start your day, the perfect breakfast treat.
Breakfast starts with Chicken Minis and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app. Real customer paid for their testimonial.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's going on for Chrysler's It's the Season sales event?
We're sad to say goodbye to the last of the new gas-powered 2023 Dodge Challenger and Chargers, but we're sending them out in style. Right now, you can save up to $12,500 off MSRP on the very last of the new 2023 Dodge Chargers and Challengers in stock. GT or SXT, you pick, starting at just $24,350.
It's hard to believe that this is really the end.
Yep, once they're gone forever. Don't wait and miss your chance, because there's only a few left, and with savings like this, they won't last long.
Hurry in before they're gone. Stop by Hoblet Dodge in historic downtown Woodland for a test drive, or search, select, and save through our whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection, nobody beats Hoblet, period. $12,500 total net savings after $8,500 factory rebates and $4,000 dealer discount. 10 of this net savings, $24,350 net price on new 2023 Dodge Challenger SXT after $8,530 factory rebates and $54.70 dealer discounts. Sample VIN 648401. See dealer for details.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and vocal.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
You know, there's some interesting thoughts coming in on the YouTube chat line, certainly on our text line, 916-339-1140 on YouTube. We appreciate you guys all out there checking in with us. Text line as well. Where was the one I wanted to bring up here? Okay, we're talking about Minnesota. Yeah, I agree. Knowing that Minnie and OKC are going to be a problem for years is depressing as a Kings fan. Here's the one. The Mavs and OKC game showed how far the Kings executive team has let the team fall. Kings are far behind. That's one I would like to dig down on and dig. I guess I know why you're saying that, because the Kings are home, didn't make the playoffs, and here are the Mavs, and here are OKC in round 2. My question is, and that's a perfect example. So last year, at this very time, Kings had just been eliminated by the Golden State Warriors, but everybody was kind of excited because it was kind of the first time through, right? Playoffs. We all had hopes of, that next year will be better, naturally. That's the thought process. You finish as a 3 seed. Imagine a full year of all this. Kings decide to run it back, and to pick that apart is more than fine to say they probably should have changed some things. I understand that. That's not really my point. My argument would be, at this time a year ago, as a Kings fan, one, you're upset that the Kings lost, but you're feeling very upbeat about what just happened and where they're going. And so now you're a year removed, and they missed the playoffs, so you're upset about that. But are they still not going in the right direction? And to this same point where today, present day, OKC and Dallas should feel great. But at this time a year ago, OKC wasn't a playoff team. Dallas was one of the disappointments. They were 5 seed going into the trade deadline and added Kyrie Irving, and then fell out of the top 10. So now they made moves, and those moves helped them. OKC, I would say, didn't really make a lot of moves. It just got Chet Holmgren healthy and then continued to have the young players develop. So there isn't one exact path for everybody. I think the one thing we would all universally say is the Kings have some good building blocks, but they need more. And what is the exact more? We've had people say they need a player like a defender and rim protector like Rudy Gobert. Certainly that would be nice. I personally think they need more perimeter help. Rim protector would be okay. I'm torn on the belief of Domantas Sabonis. Like some say they can't win enough with him being their center. I think he's a pretty special center. There's some limitations. I think he's got to figure out a few more things to his game, maybe truly become more of a stretch five and hit some threes consistently, along with all that great rebounding, passing, and playmaking. Or do you really try to play another big with him and put him at the 4 or maybe 5 offensively, 4 defensive? I don't know, but like when you play a Valanciunas, who seemed to have bothered him, a Zubats, Embiid. I mean, now I'm taking some of the big guns, Jokic. I'd referenced, make a trade for the team. Like, could there be a way to get a guy like Jaren Jackson Jr., kind of that Rudy Gobert rim protector, not a great rebounder, but Sabonis is, can shoot the 3, so he'll spread the floor, but could take some pressure off you and him defensively. More playmakers, more shooting. There's several areas this team needs to address, and I'm sure they will. But that's where the inexact science of scouting, of making personnel moves. We had a very candid quote yesterday from Daryl Morey of the Philadelphia 76ers, who basically said, yeah, I was wrong on how Buddy Hield would fit here. I appreciate his honesty. Obviously, I'm looking at that going, yeah, Buddy Hield on Philly. I would look at that and go, that makes some sense. Joel Embiid as a serious interior and, outside threat, but someone that demands a double team, triple coverage sometimes, and is going to, with good ball movement, lead some open shooters. Buddy is a gifted shooter. Tyrese Maxey can create a double team. All right. Tobias Harris at times if he's cooking. Buddy Hield on that team, to me, made some sense. Now you get the result and doesn't really make some sense. What the Kings elected to do in the offseason, I really think you can argue on the positive side for it. There's easy ways to argue on the negative side. You just were the 3 seed. You had Fox and Sabonis had great seasons. Herter was really good in year 1. Keegan, it was year 1, but you're waiting to see what he can turn into year 2, expecting a jump, which there was. And Harrison Barnes was kind of the one decision they had to make, and they elected to bring him back. Okay. You still have Monk. There was excitement about Sasha. And I thought adding JaVale McGee, all that seemed to make sense. Then you get into the year, and Sasha had injuries and certainly wasn't the player that we all expected. JaVale McGee, for the lack of a better term, was a non-factor. And then Herter and Barnes didn't have the same kind of years that they had the year before. All that combined with Fox having as good, if not better, Sabonis having a better year, Keegan having a better year, Malik Monk having a better year, but it wasn't enough. So what's next? What do you do now? How do you get this better? Well, one way of many is what? Free agency. So Malik Monk certainly will be key piece number 1 if the Kings can acquire and keep him. Another way is through trades, and that, is the big unknown at this point. And the third way, third way would be player development. I think we're seeing some of that. Some of the guys that they currently have certainly have to get better. And I think we'll see some of that. I don't think we should expect that Fox and Sabonis have hit their peak and they won't have better seasons. They can still be great. But I really think there's still another jump or 2 to have for Keegan Murray. And the last way is through the draft and the lottery. It's not an end-all, be-all. You look at some of the teams that are in the lottery, again, at the top, expected to be at the top. Detroit, Washington, Charlotte, Portland, San Antonio. They've all been there for a few years. Sometimes the thought is, hey, get to the lottery, bounce right back, get out of there. Sometimes. But Kings fans, Kings spent many years in the draft lottery, and part of their mistakes back then was drafting incorrectly. So Sunday is going to be the draft lottery, and the Kings are going into that in the 13th position. Odds of moving up aren't very good. I'm going to assume they won't. Hope for the best. But what I always say is if they're drafting first, 7th, 23rd, only in the second round. Draft well. And whatever that means. Not the player you think you want, or that, just they need to get it right. And I think they've done a pretty good job with this group. It's never perfect. Nobody is at this. We've discussed this. We did the Jalen Brunson example of going in the second round, kind of talked about as a solid rotational player, to now maybe the guy having the best postseason of anybody this year. But at 13, even in what is deemed a weak draft, you can get somebody good. And a year where you don't expect to be a lottery team, it's not the high end of the lottery, not allegedly a great draft, but to have a player under team control for a couple of years, you got to find, hey, look, it's not a positive not making the playoffs, but if this is an offshoot of it that can help keep this window going. And again, I don't think the Kings are on a limited window at this point. I feel like you've got Sabonis and Fox signed, and Keegan Murray. That core can be good for a couple of years here. It's not only tweaks around the edges, but maybe even a significant one in the middle of the core of that the Kings have to do. And whether it's this offseason, during the regular season next year, but it needs to happen relatively soon for this team to kind of get out of the spot they're in at the moment. And I think this year showed what the West will likely be like over the next year or two. And what I want to say is unpredictable. For those that are riding off the older teams like the Suns, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Warriors, I'd say be careful there. And those anointing the Thunder, T-Wolves, some of these young, soon-to-be Rockets, Spurs as, okay, they're just going to overtake everybody. Be careful there too. This year showed you have a great year, you could do some damage in the West. And I think a lot of teams are capable of that, Kings included. If things fell right, we know it. Look, watching these teams that are here at the end, I mean, we're raving about teams like Denver and Minnesota. Kings went, 5-2 against those teams during the regular season? And yeah, regular season may be different, but that's still impressive. 2-2 against the Thunder. Got to win against 2-2 against the Mavs. Those are the four that are left. It feels like they're far away. They may not be as far away as you think, but that also just doesn't mean, hey, they got this figured out. Just get there again next year and take another run at this. There's got to be some tweaks and some things to make sure they feel they're in a better position. All right, 2 hours complete. We got more to get to in the next hour. Some NBA news and notes, including more awards being announced today. The NBA MVP announced today. We'll discuss that and more straight ahead here on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Wednesday, and it's going to be a windy and a bright day out there. After a comfortable morning start, looking at plenty of sunshine with that north wind about 10 to 20 this afternoon, highs in the low 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's been said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to a nice, cool summer, it's so true. Right now, get a complete air conditioner tune-up for just $59. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. Now, I've told you this before, but this is what we call extending a good deal. Right now, American Energy Heat and Air is offering an HVAC diagnostic for $99. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Never mind. They're offering it free. It's a $99 value, but you get it for $0. Let the American Energy team test your system connections and all the moving parts of that system to ensure that it's functioning properly. Now, this is a limited time offer. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Speak to the company that has an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau that's been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now. Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder, thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Kettleman's.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text
Thumbs up button while you're here. We greatly appreciate that. We referenced earlier Chris in his office and the person that had the responsible for this Nick Cage pillow. Is that the one that may help you with whatever they're saying may put in your office?
Correct.
Okay. So if you're on YouTube, you can see that. Let's see right there. Yeah. We'll see how he does throughout the show. He might go through a transformation as the show goes along. We take you till 10, and then we will have Styles and Watkins taking you till 2 o'clock today. We'll have a crosstalk with those guys, celebrity birthdays, to hit you up a little bit later. We also will ask the question, will the Kings ever get a defensive player of the year? They were close. Their guy, Doug Christie. I know he says he should have won it that year. I agree. He has a first-team appearance. Ron Artest has a first-team appearance. Doug has some second-team appearances. Not a lot of love for the Kings defensively in the 39 years here in Sacramento. We'll talk about that a little bit later. In the last hour, was talking about the Kings a little bit too, and talking about how, some adjustments I think could be made, some tweaks. One I've kind of thrown out there as, it's more of a wish list. I've kind of wondered and speculated and gone back and forth a little bit on whether or not it should just be Sabonis strictly at the 5, or if someone else could help. And I kind of just threw out there the name of Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, how they would get him, I don't know. His contract is pretty friendly. I'm sure Memphis would want a lot. Anyway, so on and so forth. And one of our regulars, which I appreciate, said, let's see, it didn't work with Miles Turner. Not sure why we think it would work here. I think that is something that is an easy statement to say, and it's tough to go back without remembering all the Pacers games. But I was looking at some things to say, because I feel like that was said a lot in a way that's akin to Tyrese Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox wouldn't have worked. Honestly, I think it would have. I just think they chose a different path. You had two different things. It's a little bit like saying, too, Jalen Brunson, it didn't work in Dallas. Well, he's getting a new opportunity with New York. And I feel like Jalen Brunson's too good now and would have figured out, maybe he needed his new opportunity to fly and soar. And I think we're seeing Tyrese Halliburton doing some very good things. I think we're seeing Domantas Sabonis doing some very good things. But just on the Sabonis Miles Turner thing, when we say it didn't work, to me, I don't know what that means to you. Because to me, when you say it didn't work, it was like the team was failing. Those two couldn't play together. They didn't function and they were bad. Well, okay. The very first year they were put together, Domantas was in year 2. Turner was in year 3. And I got it right here. They finished 48-34 and unfortunately ran into the Boston Celtics in the first round and lost. The second year was the bubble year, or ended up being the bubble year, 1920 season. They went 45-28, so a few less games, but just a few wins behind. And they lost to the team that ended up going to the finals in the first round, the Miami Heat, in the bubble in Orlando. Now, the third year fell a little bit, 34-38 in a little bit of a shortened season. A little bit, not much, 10 games less. Finished 9th, won the first play-in game, lost the second play-in game, so technically didn't make the playoffs. And then he was traded in the next season. So, yeah, they didn't win a championship. Fox and Halliburton didn't win a championship. I think sometimes to say those things kind of as blanket statements, it didn't work. So it wouldn't work again. Was that not the right two together? I mean, that they had a winning percentage above 500. They made the playoffs 2 of the 3 years. They were in the East. I don't think anybody thought they were going to win the title with that group. Now, over time, could they have gotten better? And they kept Turner. He's gotten better as a player. Sabonis certainly has gotten better. I think sometimes it's your options. The Kings had an option there to move on from Tyrese Halliburton to get a center that I don't think they would have had any other chance of getting. So they did that. And now they're in this position where they've seen kind of, okay, this may be the ceiling of where this group can get, but does it mean parts of the group along with other parts can't take them farther? So we shall see what the direction is the Kings go. And again, if you're of the lucky items, 4-leaf clover, rabbit foot, whatever, wish good thoughts for the Kings in the draft lottery. Let's see, the draft lottery simulator. Let me go ahead and give it a whirl. One time, first time through, and 13th for the Kings. But it does say we're 4 days, 3 hours, 51 minutes, and 28 seconds away from finding out the draft lottery. On this one, my simulator, we got the Spurs moving up to number 1, Portland 2, Toronto 3, Memphis 4, and then the lottery. Man, Detroit with the worst record would fall to 5th in that. That's brutal. Washington with the second worst record would fall to 6, Charlotte 7, Utah, Brooklyn, Atlanta, Chicago, Houston, Sacramento, and the Golden State Warriors. So the Kings will have picks at, the first round pick, and then they have a second round pick at 45. So the draft, of course, isn't until June, but the draft lottery coming up this weekend. All right, some NBA news and notes. We mentioned it a little bit earlier. A little surprised that there was no suspension for Jamal Murray. I thought he would get suspended. They don't play today, but he did get a pretty hefty fine that we discussed earlier in the show. But I really thought he should have been suspended for his actions there. The last 2-minute report, we touched on this a bit earlier, was not kind to the Indiana Pacers. A couple of those calls late in that game. Game 2 is tonight, by the way, in New York. I mentioned it. Chris, you've had some videos that you've shown me. What is that? Where are they showing those things? They're gathering that with the people in the streets of New York.
Oh, that's right outside the Garden.
Okay, but is it a specific? Is it just a YouTube compilation or like somebody putting that
it's
together?
Something called Side Talk. It's like an account. I think it's like an Instagram and Twitter account.
On a level of 1 to 10, like soccer fans have a pretty amazing reputation of being as into their team and their sport as anybody. I think NBA fans are good. Football fans are probably more diehard. But what's going on in the streets of New York on those shows is pretty special.
Yes. I think that they've got this certain niche of finding the craziest, wildest New Yorkers and giving them like the platform to do the craziest and stupidest, because it's not just at the games. They do other like New York things. Like they did the hot dog eating contest in Coney Island. That's a wild one.
It almost has the feel of this could have been filmed downstairs and they got all of us to go act as crazy as you possibly think a New Yorker could act. Like, I mean, it's like there's nobody going, yeah, like the Knicks.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that if you said like, all right, everyone go down and act like the craziest New Yorkers that you can compared to
the real ones,
like we wouldn't come
We're
close.
still falling short.
Because there's one guy that says something is just like, why are you saying this out loud?
That one is over the top. I love it when the kids sound like a 40-year-old New Yorker with language included.
Come and get these hands, Embiid.
Yes. It's like, wow, just that crowd is crazy. I said the other day, like just the intensity of the Garden, we used to kind of make fun of like, okay, the Mecca, whatever. But they are enjoying themselves so much right now. And my favorite thing about it, Chris, is to see the famous people that are losing their mind, like former athletes of New York that are losing their mind there.
It also feels weird because I know it's not the case, but it feels like Knicks fans are just Knicks fans. Like all they want are the Knicks to win. So
yeah.
They don't care about the Yankees. They don't
Right.
care about Giants or Jets. It's the Knicks. And I mean, it's what's it been, 50 years?
Yeah, like they could show, like I'm sure they do some crowd shots, like roll call of famous people. Like Mariano Rivera was there, former Yankee and current Yankee. He was with Nestor Cortez, the lefty pitcher. They could show them and maybe get a New York applause, but like if they show them like cheering like they were for the Knicks, that's what people care about. Like, yeah, you're a Yankee, that's cool, but you're here for the Knicks.
You're a Knicks fan.
Yeah, and they are Knicks fans. And I don't think sometimes when it gets that big, you're there to be seen. But the way they acted, the way Marbury was acting, the way Starks has been acting, the way, I mean, they're alumni, they're just losing their minds there. And I love it.
It's sort of, I think it's because it's been such a long time. It's kind of like when the Red Sox are making their run, how all of the Boston athletes were Red Sox fans during that.
Yeah. It's cool to see. It really is. And makes it fun to watch. And every time they're in a close game at home, like everything has come down to the last 2 minutes.
Here's the thing I don't like about this might just be an NBA Twitter thing and we got a lot of it too, of just like, wow, you guys are celebrating. I think it started with the Timberwolves when they won the play-in game and everyone like trashing them as like, oh man, Beverly's crying and stuff like that. It's like, no, like you should get to celebrate
absolutely
how you want to.
And for the people that gave Kings grief for, oh, you act like you won the championship when they beat the Warriors. I don't think the players did. The fans did.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. It was a big deal. And then, disappointment losing 2 days later or whatever it was, 3 days later to the Pelicans was bad.
And I don't know about you, but I feel like there's a lot of Kings fans. It's just like, I wish they would have went further, but at least they knocked the Warriors out.
Yeah, there's one little carrot that's still there for him, right? Like if it had ended, well, I know how it felt. Like if the Warriors knocked him out and then the Warriors went and lost, like, man, that would have been about the worst scenario. At least there's that one thing. You knock the Warriors out. Now, it would have been better to beat the Pelicans too, but that didn't happen. All right, today, when we come back, we promise this. We're going to talk about the MVP announcement, which is coming today. I believe it's going to be another one for Joker. How's he feeling down 0-2? We'll talk about more of the NBA awards as well. Also, one other thing on the Knicks, do want to point out, tough news for them in the sense that backup center Mitchell Robinson officially there's like a stress fracture or a pain right there with his ankle. He is going to be out the rest of the season. So they're not playing a lot of other guys. They're about 6 to 7 deep. Hart has played just about every minute of this postseason, but they're going to be more of a shorter rotation again with the loss of Mitchell Robinson. All right, more to get to. Just a short break here. We're back in a minute.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hey there. Wanted to take a moment of your time so I could talk to you about insecurity. I could talk to you about confidence. I could talk to you about girth. Yeah, what? Girth? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you about the Upsize Clinic at UpsizeMatters.com. My good friend, Dr. Jack, and his friend, Dr. Pash in San Francisco, have a safe, effective, long-lasting doctor-performed procedure. It's non-surgical, virtually pain-free. Now listen, girth is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. What Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash are offering is a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation and get that confidence back. Reset in the bedroom with your partner. Financing is available. It's very private. It's very discreet. Available in Roseville with Dr. Jack and San Francisco with Dr. Pash at UpsizeMatters.com. That's UpsizeMatters.com.
Sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
So later today, the NBA's MVP will be announced. We know who the 3 finalists were for the NBA MVP. And I believe this is going to end up as another one for Nikola Jokic. And if you think about this prestigious award, I was looking back at some of the history of this. If it is in fact the Joker again, I believe since 2000, let me see how far I have to go back. Yeah, 2008, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 9 MVPs. Got a lot of repeaters. And this league is filled with so many great players. And the fact that the elite of the elite will block MVPs from others. And when conversations happen, and it'll always continue this way, we are always, media and fans are going out of our way to anoint the next person.
How many years has it been Luka?
They want to give it to Luka. They wanted to give it to Zion at some point. Now it feels like Anthony Edwards is the next Michael Jordan. Victor Wembanyama is going to get 10 of them. It's like, okay. Guys.
He's not Patrick Mahomes.
They can't. There's one MVP a year. You just, I mean, I think about, I don't know, Chris, if I asked you just off the top of your head in the last 10 years, 5 of the best players in your mind in the last 10 years, just without really any other statement than that in the NBA, just off the top of your head.
LeBron James,
okay.
Steph Curry,
okay.
Kevin Durant,
yeah,
Joker.
Okay. That's good. I mean, if you get another one, that's fine. But those all have won MVPs, which is good. You picked all people that have won MVPs. But, I mean, at some point, LeBron has 4. It feels like he could have more. This would be the 3rd for Joker. Kevin Durant is one of the greatest players we've ever seen. He's going to end with 1. Kobe Bryant ended with 1. Steph Curry has 2. I don't think he's going to get another. So if we go back to 2008, it's LeBron. Derrick Rose snuck in and got 1. LeBron, Kevin Durant, Curry, Westbrook, Harden, Giannis, Joker, Embiid, likely Joker. But people want to, SGA is going to win a bunch. Victor, Edwards, Zion. Like Dame's never been close. Fox is a great player. Sabonis. I mean, there's just so many really good. Banchero. Like people. Donovan Mitchell. Hey, if Gobert's winning defensive play, Towns is going to revolutionize. Anthony Davis.
It's funny that you're saying this because I remember when Luka was in the draft, I had people saying, oh, he's at least going to get a couple of MVPs and an NBA championship.
Yeah.
And it's just like, where are you getting that from?
You realize how difficult that is?
Yes, I said, just the way that they're like, oh, at least. Like, that's the minimum of what he's going to do in his career. So I told them, I told these people, like, okay, so if Luka has the same career as Dirk Nowitzki, he will have a less of a career than you thought he was going to have.
Right. That's a great point.
And Dirk is like one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah, he got 1 MVP and 1 title. And there's nothing wrong with either of those things. And I haven't even mentioned, thank you, text line, Tatum. Like Tatum has been one of the favorites every year, and he won't win it and hasn't won it. But, I mean, he might win 1 or more. Who knows?
And ironically, the better your team is, I feel like, unless you have the the Warriors like breaking the Bulls regular season record, it feels like the better your team is, the harder for like a star to get an MVP. Like Jason Tatum isn't like above and beyond all the rest of the Celtics, where it's just like, oh, it's his team.
Right.
He's doing so well. He deserves the MVP.
Yeah.
Like Joker, it feels like lifts everybody up through his play to like, oh man, where would they be without him?
Paul George, Kawhi, no MVPs. Like I said, Anthony Davis, Booker's got talent to win an MVP. It's really difficult to get that honor. And my point is, we are, Brunson, the way the Knicks have played, like he plays like an MVP. And there's players that aren't even in the league yet that are going to end up in the conversation that we're going to anoint as the next, that we just, when LaMelo Ball came out in his rookie year was so good. It's like, watch out for him. And then the second you get injured or you get on a bad team or you struggle, like it's now all of a sudden you're dismissed as like not this great player. We're so quick to elevate and anoint people that aren't there or just putting way too many expectations on them. And also some of these guys that we want to anoint as this next great young group, Joker's still here. Embiid is still around. Some of these other legends of the game are still going. Giannis had an MVP type year. Why couldn't he win another one? So it's a really difficult task. It's a really special award. And if you look at the MVPs, I'm trying to think of let me look back here. So Embiid was 28 when he won last year. If Joker wins, he'll be 27. Harden was 28. Westbrook was 28. You see the sweet spot of a lot of these prime NBA players. Derrick Rose was one of the youngest at 22. One of the oldest, Nash, 31 and 30 when he won it in back-to-back seasons. Karl Malone won it at 35 and 33. Jordan won it when he was 34. Kareem at 32. So, that sweet spot of NBA careers, even with early entry and all that, is kind of in that 25 to 29-year-old range. And that's why if you go to a team like the Sacramento Kings right now and their best players, that's why it feels like they're still in this current sweet spot window of age and, what they could do. Sabonis just celebrated his 28th birthday. Keegan Murray this summer will turn 24. And De'Aaron Fox next year, at the end of the year, will turn 27. So they're in that spot where they've got experience. They've played games together, and they're in that really good window of kind of your peak NBA years. But today, I think we're going to find out it will be another MVP for Nikola Jokic. That's my belief. And I'm looking back at the MVP winners, like I said. The one that kind of got me the most was, what year was that exactly? Yeah, I think it was, I should have known. The We Believe Warriors was 06-07. When Dirk Nowitzki won it and was receiving that award after they got eliminated in that first round disappointment by the Golden State Warriors. But the Joker might be getting that when his team is down 2-0. That's the reality of the situation. But I do believe it will be another MVP honor for him. All right, still to come on the show, we got to get to who's hot, who's not. That's coming up. Let's go streaking. We'll see how we did there. We'll come back more on the NBA, some more things to tie up as well besides the MVP announcement today, some other awards, and looking back again last night at what the Celtics did, certainly what the Thunder did, and what else we can expect from the Kings in their offseason. All that straight ahead here on Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, everyone. It's Evan Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sacautograph.expo.com. That's sacautograph.expo.com.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for special offers right now. I'm Coach Doug Christie urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia and save big on your next new or certified pre-owned vehicle right now. Visit FolsomLakeKia.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting sacktownsports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Right now, you're missing all the fun at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range powered by Top Tracer. It's the place to be this summer in Sacramento. Whether you're an accomplished player or a newbie, there's something for everyone at the Hagen Oaks Nighttime Driving Range. Golf is happening right now, and the Hagen Oaks Driving Range is the perfect place to see what the fuss is all about. The Hangout Food Truck offers tasty bites and craft beers on the brand new relaxed patio, and with a free concert schedule, there's always something for everyone at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range. Join the fun tonight until midnight. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
Guys, are you still dealing with loss of energy, poor sleep, weight gain, and even ED? Revive Men's Health Sacramento offers guaranteed low T and ED treatments, and this month only, qualified patients get a free 1-month supply of personalized ED medication, plus a free ED treatment producing immediate results. Availability is limited. Book your free exam and consultation today. Call 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566, or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sacktown Sports.
We got Let's Go Streaking and Who's Hot, Who's Not coming up in our next segment. Chris, have you ever thrown out a first pitch?
No.
How do you think if you were asked to do that today? No real, yesterday we were talking with Alan and Chris Watkins about, home run derby and cuts. What do we give him? Like 10 swings?
He was pushing for 15.
I mean, that's fine. We gave him 15. So what was your idea, by the way? You're like, we'll give you 5 more. And then we'll give you 5 more. And then we'll give you 5 more.
The idea what he would keep missing until he would be too frustrated and then he would just give up.
Okay. I got you where you're going there. But how do you think you would do, like, if you got asked to throw out a first pitch? I don't know.
I'd be fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't throw it like a pitch. I would just throw it.
That's the other thing. Like, some people, I don't know if they're trying to, you can also, it's okay just to, also that might even just save face. Like, oh, I just lobbed it. Like, just throw it. I can throw it to someone accurately.
There's a lot of places that don't let them go on the mound anymore.
Yeah. Did you see Zach Edey yesterday?
I did.
So that one, to me, it looked like, I don't think, I think we debated this for a while, like Stephen A. Smith's, if that was fake on purpose.
That was fake on purpose.
You think so?
Yes.
Zach Edey, it didn't look like that was, but it just looked like why do you try to throw it
just try to launch
9,000 miles an hour? And
also, with a lot of those, I think we're not hearing the behind the scenes conversations.
True.
He's got some buddies be like, oh, don't be a wimp, but just lob it up there. Yeah. You got to throw it like a pitch.
Who was it?
My favorite part of that too was the Cubs mascot.
Yeah.
Misses it, not even close, and then turns around and just the look of just what are you doing?
Yeah, where did that go? Yeah, was the mascot behind the dish?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's kind of like what? Where did that go? Because it goes out of the screen, and he, obviously he's huge, but he throws it from the mound, and it went dead left.
I will say my favorite one of those, which is not even close, was Bill Murray just throwing it into the stands.
Oh yeah,
which is the most Bill Murray thing ever.
Yeah. I know it was Russell Wilson who obviously played baseball. I think Kaepernick too that got up there before and did theirs and brought it in the low 90s. And you're like, whew. Anyway, Zach Edey, that's not why you would draft him, not for his baseball. Kings, like we said, the draft, a lottery, the announcement of the team order will be this weekend on Sunday. The Kings scheduled pre-draft going in at 13. And, percentage odds are that will likely stay at 13. Zach Edey in the latest mock draft I see has Boston getting him at 30. 7'4", 300 pounds. And again, the inexact science of drafting is fascinating to me. I mean, I really am fascinated by the process because I think we could all go to maybe these workouts and these combines and watch and go, ooh, I like that player. I think that player's got a specific skill set, or that should translate. But that other intangibles of what makes a player tick, I think would be the one I don't know how you quantify. And I think when you're talking about, we just did the MVP list a little while ago, you can have great individual seasons, but I think there's either just an immense talent level that you go, okay, that's just too special. But that drive, that work ethic, that desire to be great isn't in everybody. And they can tell you that, hey, I want to win championships. I want to lead your organization. I want to be great. But to know it, that they feel it, that it's what they do. And there's still stuff that you see now, I'm sure you've seen if you're on Instagram or Reels or whatever, and you see different things. Some of the stuff Chris will pop up, like speeches that you'll see that Kobe Bryant had given at a seminar or something, or a question that he's asked, and I'm like, oh, I think I know how I'll answer it. And then he answered it a different way. I'm like, oh, wow. That he just has a different mindset, he was a unique player in my mind, in that he was so immensely talented, but worked so hard, and I think enjoyed the work and the challenge of all of that more so than the thrill he got from the results.
Well, I don't think I realized how detailed like NBA's players' thought processes are until Doug started working here. And just like the little things that he would tell us of just like, oh, so when you're trying to take a ball, are you trying to do this? And he's like, no. And he's like explaining like how when he's stealing a ball, he's like 3 moves ahead.
Yes.
And he's just like, and then like right when you get the timing down, that's when you attack. It's like, you're doing all that. He's like, yeah, you have to.
And it's so fast, but he can do it and he can process it. I remember Doug would tell a story of, I think he ran into Kobe one time working out one of the off seasons. I think this was Kobe, if I'm not, I think it was. And Kobe was like, when someone would ask, hey, Chris, it's media day, what'd you do? And oh, Chris put on some weight, looks better, stronger, better condition. And what did you work on in your game? And usually it's like, oh, I worked on kind of a little bit of everything. Or I worked on, like Kobe, I think the one off season Doug said he saw him, it was something like he was working on the, if you separate the front court into like 4 quadrants and imagine the right corner to the next top of the key on the right side, to the left top of the key on the left side, to the left corner, he was working on like the lower quadrant for like a month. And just like, he was just looking on one corner of the front court. And you could just imagine like, okay, probably pivot to the baseline, pivot to the middle, fade away, step back. I mean, just the detail of the work, the passion, that to me is what fascinates me. Like, I'm looking at this list. I'll just pick a player that I remember from the tournament. Reed Shepherd from Kentucky is listed at 5th in this mock draft. He may be great. He may be a bust. Donovan Clingan, who was good for UConn, listed as 4th. It's not about what they averaged and their height and their metrics and their bench press and their vertical and all that. The stuff you go, wow, I could see them being great. But what you can't measure is, okay, I made it to the pros. I'm getting paid. I'm not saying everybody does this, but if you get a guaranteed contract and you're a rookie and you've been that good your entire life, yeah, I mean, do I have to work harder? Probably. But I can also, sometimes people know just enough of what they need to do. We know in your job, I've done this show millions of times. Like, I know enough. Like, I can do it. But like, okay, do you want every day to be the best show ever? Or like the details? Chris, you've run the board. You do it with your eyes closed. You know enough to get it done. Like, but if you're trying to do extra things and details, and it's just the work ethic that you just, the professionalism, the desire to be great. I don't know how people develop later. Again, we use Jalen Brunson example. It's like, he's nice. He's okay. He's a role player for Dallas. Then, okay, he's got a little bit bigger role. He's the best player on the Knicks and killing it. He's had 4 straight 40-point games in the postseason. There is no way anybody could have seen that. How does one measure that? You don't. And there's also luck. There's absolute luck in this. And, when the Kings missed all those years, it's easy to now go, why would you take Thomas Robinson? Well, a lot of people would have. Why would you take Jimmer Fredette? Jimmer was getting drafted. He just got drafted by the Kings. Did they not have the right environment for him? Was he not, could he have been better if he was on the perfect team for him? Maybe. That's the thing you think about. Oh man, the Kings should have gotten Steph Curry. Well, would the Kings have been like the Warriors? Right. Probably not. Yeah. Would we have hurt Steph Curry? I don't know. I feel like his talent is too good, but I don't know that. I mean, the only way to do it is like to clone the person and have them take 2 different paths. We'll never know. Maybe he starts to do well later in his final part of his rookie contract, and he decides, you know what, I want to be a free agent. I'll go someplace else. It's not good enough here, so I'm going to go to the Knicks. I'm going to go to the Lakers. I'm going to go to Charlotte, where my dad, you just don't know. And then he got enough success with the Warriors. They started to build something, and probably a little bit like Fox was maybe close to thinking of leaving. Maybe, I don't know. He's still here. I'm glad he's still here, and I hope he continues to stay and enjoy his time here. But that inexact science of drafting, and again, on this mock draft, let's see, it has the Kings taking Jacoby Walter, a shooting guard from Baylor, 6'5", 180. Okay, 19 years old, averaged 16 points, 5 boards, an assist and a half, 1.2 steals. I couldn't tell you. And that's the thing. You could look at it, you can see talent from watching games, but what's the drive? What's the desire? What's the next, that X factor thing? The commitment to basketball, loving basketball, not treating it as a job, though it is, and wanting your own personal greatness along with your team's greatness. Tough to measure that. All right, still to come, we will come back and talk about who's hot and who's not. And let's see how we did with Let's Go Streaking. That straight ahead here on Sacktown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
It's a toss to McCaffrey, a cutback run 30, breaks 340. McCaffrey midfield. McCaffrey 40, 30, 20, and toasted all the way down to the 3-yard line. On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
Active Liver is one of many award-winning health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at Amazon.com or for a volume discount, visit newnordicusa.com. Available as a tablet or delicious sugar-free gummy. Protect and help your liver the easy and effective way with Active Liver at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
In a world where everybody and their mother makes a primed trim board, contractors have to ask one question. Do I know what's under the primer? Available at just about every lumber yard you can imagine. Vintage trim boards are made from lodgepole pine. That's the stuff telephone poles and railroad ties are made of. It's durable. It's straight. It's been doing the job for generations. Manufactured right here in the USA. Ask for it by name. VintageTrimboards.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Cattleman's.
Meda Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT 5.3 liter in stock after rebates. Always 5 to choose from.
Exclusive. All in-stock pricing at MedaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. Ends 5/31/24.
My community means everything to me. That's why I joined the Army National Guard. I'm proud of where I'm from, and as a soldier, I get to give back to the people that helped me succeed. The training and leadership skills I get from the Army National Guard help me every day when I teach young people and look out for my community. If you'd like to learn how you too can serve part-time in the community you love, visit nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard. Aired by the California Broadcasters Association and this station.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
All right, let's do it. Let's ask that question everybody wants to know. Who is hot? Who's hot?
Rudy Gobert.
Gobert?
He won the Defensive Player of the Year last night. Joins Dikembe Mutombo and Ben Wallace as the only 4-time winners of the award. He is also the first player 30 years or older to win the award since Kevin Garnett in 2008.
KG won it in 2008? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything's possible. Rudy Gobert, new baby as well. Congrats to him. Good time to be Rudy Gobert.
Incredible.
The Stifle Towers done a nice job of recovering from his maybe one of those low.
Remember, everyone like, what is Minnesota doing?
I did not like it. I did not like it at all. All right. Well, who's not hot, Chris?
Luka Doncic.
Hey.
He did have 19 points.
He made his first three.
But in 41 minutes, he was 6 of 19 for the field. Surprising 1 of 8 from the three. He's also 6 of 10 from the free throw line.
And had the awkward fall.
Ow. Oh, there's also something coming out that in Oklahoma. Let me see. Yeah, Oklahoma City, there's a 3.6 earthquake.
Wow.
Around the time of the game.
You and your love for Luka. Did that stem from the Kings not taking him?
No, I think it was more of the Luka fans in Sacramento that are just like, oh, he would have completely turned this team around. Oh, they're so stupid. Oh, what are they doing? Oh, he's going to have at least 3 championships.
I'm wondering if, I know it's different when he's your own player, but do you think there are Dallas fans that don't, well, I don't want to say don't like
I would say that they're tired of his
whining. Yeah.
I've heard that a lot from Dallas fans.
Because I did not like DeMarcus's antics over time. Like at the beginning, you're like, I'm so pro DeMarcus.
Yeah.
He's a king. It's like,
and then you it starts to like wear down on you.
Over time,
it's like, oh, you know what? He just needs better players around him. Oh, well, you know what? Like they're really getting after him for things. And then as you keep,
like DeMarcus, not now, no. And it's almost like you're disappointed more so than it's like, and if he was on the other team,
especially when you could see it coming.
Yeah,
like you see, he should have gotten a foul, but they didn't call it. Like,
yeah.
And then he does this reach in. You're like, okay, no. And then he does another one, and he's yelling at the ref and gets a technical. You're like,
And sometimes he just wasn't even good about it. I still remember this very well. It's back when we were at Arco, we were able to still sit low and had our courtside seats for the radio broadcasts. And, he would get into things with players that were just smaller than him. Like he wouldn't mess with anybody bigger than him. And they went to a timeout and he was heated with Mike Dunleavy Jr. And so timeout break, you could still tell he's hot, especially down there courtside. And the second they start play again, I'm just watching DeMarcus now, just not even watching the ball, watching him. And then Dunleavy runs to the key and DeMarcus just a total cheap shot. And then he gets tossed. You're like, yeah, that was easy. Like you just weren't even smart about it. Sometimes you're like, everybody's watching you and, let a few plays go by, but he's like, no, I'm going to take care of this right here, right now. Anyway, interesting time for him. Interesting time for us because we get to check in with our guy, JR. JR, good morning. What's up?
Hey, I know Chris does this show with his eyes closed.
Well, that's been proven. Did we?
Hello?
No, there you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. You do your calls with your eyes closed.
Oh no, Chris does the show with his eyeyes closed. You know he does.
For sure.
Oh, we got it, JR.
Yeah.
Oh. He's dreaming.
Yes.
And that's what he does, is he does this whole show. Hey, I got to chime in on a serious thing. You hit rant there on we don't know what they're going to be. And I know, being around the sports for a long time and having a couple guys that went to different levels, going from college to pro is such a different world. Because, of course, college, you got guys around you, girls around you. Hopefully you're going to school, unless you're an Alabama football player.
Hey, now.
But you're supposed to be going to school, and they're all with it. They're all in it with you. You're doing things. And then when you get to the pro level, obviously it's all on your own, and your ability to fail is very, you have a short leash.
Yeah.
And so it can happen so quickly. There was a young man down here from Pleasant Grove, Marquise Chris.
Yes.
Got to top 8. Kings almost got him, right? We traded him within 2 seconds to the Phoenix, but phenomenal guy. Went to Washington for only a year. I mean, gets to the pros, doesn't get in the right atmosphere, and it doesn't take much.
We're losing JR. Unfortunately, we lost him, but he's right. I mean, that's Marquise Chris is a good example. Great high school player, good player, talent, raw. You can see, like, okay, I see what people see in trying to groom. And so when you're also working on talent and potential, can you capture that? Can you groom that? Are you the right system to do that? Do you have the right coaches? Now there's so many one-on-one coaches. And just like anything, you have certain teachers or parents or coaches, if you've played anything, that you just vibe with better. And like everything they say is landing with me, and you're getting the most out of me. Or others are like, yeah, I'm not feeling this.
I think JR's phone was malfunctioning because he was actually calling with a serious point.
He got way too serious for us. Do better next time, JR.
Be better.
Be better. Thank you, JR. Yeah, again, back to that inexact science. I think we can all play that armchair GM and quarterback or whatever, but and I always think about like being in that position. And to me, it's less about money and finances and getting, contracts. It's more of trying to find talent and then put it together. I mean, look, I said this to Doug. I said this to people that we would interview back then. And if any of them were here, like if you looked honestly at the 2001 through about 2004 Sacramento Kings, the best run that they had here, why on earth did that work? Really, why did that work? You had Vlade, Chris Webber, Peja Stojakovic, so people from all over in different styles, different personalities. Mike Bibby, Doug Christie, Bobby Jackson had been bouncing around, Scott Pollard. I mean, you had some misfits, some crazy guys, but it worked. It worked. I don't know how you can figure out how that will work, but sometimes it does. And it's like, okay, we'll copy what this team does. Can you? There's always a little bit differences in all of these teams. All right, it's that time. Let's see how we did with streaking.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB?
Had you ever been to a doubleheader?
Yes.
You've gone to a doubleheader?
I have.
Really?
I didn't stay for the entire doubleheader.
Okay.
I think it was the Giants Braves at Candlestick.
Okay. So you would have been pretty young.
Yeah, I was a little kid. And I remember the Giants got blown out in the first game. Then I want to say in the second game started and they gave up 3 or 4 runs right in the first inning. And then that's when the seagulls started coming out because they expected the game to be over. And my dad kept getting pooped on.
What?
Yes.
Not you, but him?
Him. And he goes, all right, if I get hit again, we're leaving. And it was almost as if as he finished that sentence, it happened again. And he's like, all right, we're going. Get your stuff. Let's go.
What's your best guess at the year?
At the year, I'm guessing either 93 or 95.
Not 94.
I would assume not because that was the strike year.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to see if I can find this game. 93, 94, doubleheader, you believe. Braves. In San Francisco. I'm going to see if I can find bird poop game. That's pretty cool, though. I have not been to a doubleheader. I've been to a game that went 18 innings. We said that before. But yeah, doubleheaders would be fun. Doubleheaders would be fun. All right.
Too much.
Too much baseball. And I don't remember. What's the official time? Was it 30 minutes? The first game ends and there's 30 minutes to the next game?
It was something like that.
Yeah. I went to last year when I was in Boston for a couple days, tried to go to a Yankee Red Sox game. The game got rained out, so they were going to play it the next day on a day-night doubleheader. But that was literally they had to clear the park out because they had, it was a makeup game. So I went to the first game, the game that I was supposed to go to, but then it was going to be a couple hours until the next game. So it wasn't quite the same feel of the traditional doubleheader. All right, break time for us. Final hour ahead. Still to come in the next hour. More on the defensive player of the year goes to Rudy Gobert. Will the Kings ever get themselves the defensive player of the year? What to watch? Crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. Much more to get to. All coming up here on Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
For the snow to melt and the golf course to awaken, it's time for your long-awaited spring golf getaway to Plumas Pines Golf Resort in beautiful Gray Eagle, California. The timing is perfect to take advantage of Plumas Pines Spring Special. You can walk the course for $75 or ride for $90, available 7 days a week through May 23rd. Beneath towering pines adjacent to the Feather River, Plumas Pines Golf Resort offers a spectacular round of mountain golf. You'll love the grandeur of the Sierra, the calmness of Gray Eagle, and the wonderful test of golf at Plumas Pines with spring special rates of $75 to walk and $90 to ride 7 days a week until May 23rd. Make your reservation at plumaspinesgolf.com. Whether you visit for the day or stay a few days, Plumas Pines Golf Resort will make your play memorable. Visit plumaspinesgolf.com and make your tee time reservations for the spring special rates available 7 days a week. That's PlumaSpinesGolf.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
This segment is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville. Check them out at KiaVacaville.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
It's poop game, doubleheader. Let's take you back to August 2nd, 1992.
I was 7.
You were 7. So were you fine with leaving?
I remember being like, well, what, why? Like,
yeah.
I remember being sold on. I think it also, too, is because I was a little kid. And so, like, my parents are preparing me just like, hey, we're not leaving early.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to go see 2 games. I don't want to hear any whining about how you want to go or you're tired or something like that. This is an all-day thing. I feel like that was a conversation.
Well, let me see. Game 1 was a thriller, 3-0. Braves scored in the 3rd, scored 2 in the 9th, only 11 total hits. Looked like it took 2 hours and 47 minutes. Giants had Willie McGee, Robbie Thompson, Will Clark, Chris James, Mark Leonard, Matt Williams, Mark Bailey, Mike Benjamin, and Bill Swift pitched. So 3-0. And the next game, the second game of the doubleheader, oh, much better, but that's the game you guys left.
Yeah.
8-5, Braves. Braves scored 2 in the first. Giants, though, scored 2 in the bottom and then scored in the second. And in the 5th, have a 4-2 lead before giving up 6 in the 6th.
See, I want to say my mom would be better at this, but I want to say we left before the Giants had the had the lead.
So
So
the
if that
first
was
inning
if that were
of
the
the
case
second
and it was
game.
the first inning that we left.
Yeah, 21 hits in that game, 13 runs. You would have missed Kevin Bass hitting 2 home runs in the game. Mike Felder homered. Wow. Yeah, the baseball. One of the baseball games I remember, I went to. It was the first time I ever went to Yankee Stadium. I was on a trip there with the Monarchs, and I went with like Jim Cozumore, Chris DeBlanc, and I want to say the Yankees. We were late getting in, and the Yankees homered, I think, in the first. And then they ended up losing the game like 8-1. I'm like, oh, I missed their only run and their only home run. But that's what could happen with baseball. So doubleheader today for the A's. Enjoy it if you're going out there. I know there haven't been that's been the other thing too, Chris. I know we've poked fun, I guess. I don't even know if that's the right term, but the A's and their lack of attendance, which 100% makes sense. But man, baseball attendance right now this year has been rough in a lot of parks.
Like St. Louis was incredible.
Yeah. Chicago, White Sox, several teams are having issues, but the Cardinals are like, that's like a baseball mecca.
That's the thing. Do you guys just think that you're going to move these teams away and everything's going to fix itself?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fix is. Like you and Dave would be perfect. Like I still really enjoy baseball. I watch baseball. You guys don't. I'm not saying you should. That's never been my point, but I don't. You're the one they need to keep, and they've lost you.
Yeah.
And they lost Dave. And yeah, I'm sure they want younger people to keep it growing. Yes, but you know, there's people older than us that are still watching it or not, but you guys did, and now you're done. Like they need to figure out how they lost that group.
It's a lot of the stuff that they're doing now.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and it's not like rules. Like I feel like they think that, oh, if we change the rules, that will do it. Because every home team has 81 games. Like, are you really going to be charging $40, $50, $60 a ticket for those games? Like you can't keep doing that.
Yeah. And
I think the A's have that thing right now. Is it $99 for like a season card for the rest of the season?
Okay.
Like that was what they were doing in 2018 to get fans there, and it was great.
Is it the number of games? That's not it, or that's a part of it.
I think that's part of it. I think it's also, it feels like the NBA is going longer into the summer.
Yeah.
It felt like the season ended in like the beginning of June.
Yeah. And so
and
now
now
it's
it's
going
going
to baseball if you wanted to.
Yeah. Now you're going like close to July.
Yeah. To me, I think what baseball would need to
also, like me becoming a soccer fan kind of hurt it.
True.
Because this
you got
summer
another-
I'm thinking, oh, there's going to be the Euros. There's going to be the Euros. There's going to be Copa America.
Yeah, I would say soccer's hurt. I would say it has.
And it's weird because I'm just like this is a different, because I'm like with football, I'm just like, I do need that break. I can't just watch it like all year long. But with soccer, I'm just like, oh, I can watch this all year long.
Yeah. I wonder, to me, what I feel like baseball needs is some sort of, because they've got all the players, they got enough story. They need like another historical record to be chased. And I don't know what that is. I mean, we've kind of gone through the home runs. If there was someone of note, of intrigue that was chasing like DiMaggio's hitting streak, if there was someone chasing a home run streak or a home run record, or, 3,000 hit, like someone that there was a draw to. But I just feel like right now, people just may find out, right. We have like a generational player. I know he's not pitching this year, but Shohei Ohtani should be probably the biggest sports figure going, and he's not. One of them, right?
I would say, well, the thing is too, those home run chases were probably like a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
Because I remember it was 97, it was McGuire and Griffey going head to head. And that was like people didn't start realizing it until later. But it was so fun that it was, oh, is McGuire going to do it this year?
Yeah.
It's just like, so that's what led, like from April on, everyone's like, oh, is McGuire going to do this? Is McGuire going to do this? So, man, I don't know what you can get people hyped for the beginning of the baseball season.
Right. I don't know either. I mean, and I don't know if it will be different this time next year, if baseball being literally right here in Sacramento will change things, maybe to some, but I don't know if it'll change it like as opposed to, hey, I went to a game versus I'm following the A's every day. I feel like it's more of I went to a game.
Yeah. And next year is going to be so different because it's going to be like, oh man, the Yankees were in Sacramento.
Right.
It might even be like stuff like, oh, did you see Aaron Judge over at Doco?
Right. Right. More of the people watching, which is kind of what happens at times when the Kings are bad in the NBA and people come to watch some of the other teams.
I remember there used to be like people that would go to the games, have their scorecard out, have like just the whole setup.
Maybe
there,
even headsets
on. And I just think that is almost non-existent now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, in any sport, I know I like part of me, if I'm calling a game like at Sac State, for example, and there's very few examples of this, but every once in a while I go, oh, someone's wearing a headset. I feel like, hey, they're listening to the football game. Maybe they're not. I don't even know if they're listening to me on the radio do the game, but I want to feel like they are. That used to be a bigger thing. Now it's, look, everybody's on their phone, talking to people, getting food, whatever. That's fine. It's more of an event. And I feel like baseball is a good event to go to. It's a very chill and relaxed, like, hey, I can kind of be into the game. I don't have to be into the game. There's not action every play. It's just a relaxing day out. But maybe it is a game thing when you're asked to go 81 times. I can't imagine being the season ticket holder.
Yeah.
In a like a not even a baseball only market, maybe, but like if you're in LA or New York where there's all those other teams and all those other options, that'd be interesting.
It's weird too. And specifically in the United States, every stadium, it feels like there needs to be something besides the sport.
Right.
Which is kind of weird. And it might hurt, like, okay, that might get you more people in the arena, but does that get people interested in the game?
Right. Because everything's now televised. It's like, well, I don't have to go because I can watch it on, if I really care, I can watch it on TV, listen on the radio, however else you want to.
And another, like, ticket prices are just out of control. Like, if there is some way that you could tamper down on that, like now you're telling teams to stop making the money that they're making,
right?
Which is tough. Like, maybe you've got to come up with some way to get people in the building to be interested in the sport.
Right. And again, I don't think it's a lack of, they're stars. The play is good. It's just, getting out to a day like today. I mean, again, taking in a doubleheader, I think would be unique. It's a fun gimmick. It's a different idea. They don't happen all the time. To me, that's kind of the charm of it. So you got the A's and Rangers coming up with a doubleheader. All right, when we come back, we will finally get to this, talking about the Kings and their history of lack of defensive players. Do they have anyone on their roster right now that could ever be considered a defensive player of the year candidate? As Gobert takes home that honor. We've got that and more straight ahead here on Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sacktown Sports.
Spins away from the defender, in the paint, soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
If you're looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, we're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. Prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Call Term Provider at 800-337-4168. 800-337-4168.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. N61, visit staples.com/print for details.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
The Kia Defensive Player of the Year from the Minnesota Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert. And now we have a third four-time winner of this award as Rudy Gobert anchoring the #1 defense in the NBA. 14 points, 13 rebounds a game. 13 rebounds, #2 in the NBA. #6 in the league in blocks. And for Rudy Gobert, this makes the 4th time in the last 7 years that he is the Kia NBA Defensive Player of the Year.
All right, congrats to Rudy Gobert. The Timberwolves defense has been great all season long, certainly showing off their most here in the postseason when they are letting them grab and clutch and hold, and that is bothering many people, including Jamal Murray and those Denver Nuggets. So the T-Wolves up 2-0. Gobert takes home his 4th Defensive Player of the Year honors, putting him in that company with Ben Wallace and Dikembe Mutombo, which is kind of where it feels like he is as a career legacy. A great defensive player, a Hall of Famer because of all that acknowledgement, offensive limitations, but has made the Utah Jazz better and certainly has made this Minnesota Timberwolves team better. And we'll see where that ultimately can go for him. But as far as the Kings go, they've now been in Sacramento 39 seasons. Next year is year 40 in Sacramento. And in all those years, they've never had a Defensive Player of the Year. They haven't had an MVP. We've seen them get Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, 6th man, even though Malik, I think, should have won it this year. Executive, Monty and Jeff Petrie have taken that home. They've had an All-Star Game MVP. They've had a lot, 3-point winners, 3-point shootouts, whether it's Peja or Buddy. People in the dunk contest. All-Stars, All-NBA. But no MVP and no Defensive Player of the Year. So in their history, Doug Christie, he made it as a first teamer and really could have won the entirety as the Defensive Player of the Year. He did that once. And 3 times, Doug made the second team all defensive squad. I mean, Doug was so gifted defensively. And Chris talked about it, just kind of the calculations that he would do. And I loved it. I loved sitting down low during Doug's heyday here. And you could, sometimes when he was guarding the ball, basically right in front of us, you could just almost see him. You could almost see him counting or like calculating like the rhythm of a dribble. And there were times where a guy would dribble in front of him and he would dive and just take the ball away. One way to do it like that. But Doug would make people work. And Doug was a really good defender. And you had Ron Artest, the very first year he got traded to Sacramento. He was named to the first team, all defense. But that's it. No other honors in 39 years as a first or second team. And on the current roster, I don't think they're blessed with, high volumes of great defensive players, though we found it odd that in the Defensive Player of the Year category this year that Domantas Sabonis did get a vote, finished 3rd, 1 third-place vote. And my best guess on that is that they were looking at rebounds. Because I don't think of Domantas Sabonis as a great defender. I think he's okay. But he works hard defensively, gets some deflections, some steals. But rebounding is part of defense, right? Cleaning up the last part of the other team's offense. If you clean the boards, that's defense. So maybe that's where he got the 1 third-place vote, but I wouldn't mistake Domantas Sabonis for any potential future Defensive Player of the Year nominees. I would say skill set wise, Davion Mitchell has pretty good defensive ability and instincts, as does Keon Ellis. But I think some name value recognition, opportunity. Both guys have been either bench players, spot starters. In Ellis's case, a two-way guy that's kind of bounced back and forth and earned a future contract here with this team. But the one who's got a name around the league a little bit more, or 2, I would say, and have shown ability to play pretty good defense many times, would be Keegan Murray and or De'Aaron Fox. I think on the current roster, those 2 guys have the best chance to be on an all-defensive team. But I think it's a stretch to get them to the Defensive Player of the Year category. But I still think it's odd. Of all the things that this team has done when they've been here, good and bad, that they've only had Ron Artest and Doug Christie on the all-defensive teams. 40, going to be 40 years. Obviously, they've been more offensive-oriented. Many years haven't been good enough to be considered probably any kind of defensive threat. I thought Mitch was a good defensive player. But you got to be great. You got to be a difference maker. And a lot of times, like we said, when you're evaluating the defensive player of the year, it seems to be an award that's kind of stuck there for interior defensive guys, shot changers, blockers, rebounders, those kind of guys. And I think in years to come, this could be a thing that's going to be owned and operated likely, I think, unless you get voter fatigue, which is a thing for people like Victor Wembanyama. So we shall see. But you're looking at that, and you're looking at the Kings and their perspective on how they can get better. Defense certainly is a way. I think on the season, Mike Brown and the staff did a good job of implementing some different principles, making it a point of emphasis, and the Kings did get better defensively as a team. I would say as the year went along, they adjusted to the physical nature pretty well as a defense. I don't think they did as well offensively when other teams were being more physical with them. And I think the league, did a pretty good job of getting what they wanted in a market correction, let's say, of way too much offense to let's taper this down a bit. Let's correct this with being more lenient on lack of calls and allowing more of a physical nature. I think they found the better balance. You're going to get that in the playoffs. I thought it was odd, though, that the league wanted that and executed that during the season. I thought that was a bit unfair. Some rosters are more physical and set up that way, where if you knew as a GM that that's what the league was going to do, you could have tailor-made your roster a little bit that way. Now, we didn't know that. Now that you do, and if that's going to be an edict going forward, then I think you have to plan for that. You have to plan for the players that are going to be a little bit more physical by nature, a little bit more hand checking and use their physical play to be a difference as opposed to, hey, I'm getting by my quickness, my speed, my elusiveness as a defender, as opposed to, no, I'm strong. I'm going to grab you. I'm going to hold. They're not going to call it all the time. And if I can get away with that, then let me utilize all my tools, all my weapons. And so I think that's something that I'm sure will be discussed amongst league front offices with the league, or team front offices with the league, I should say, to see what's the best course of action for GMs in drafting, in trading, and free agency and all that stuff, and even their own internal player development, all the ways you get your teams better. All right, still to come, we're going to tell you what to watch tonight. One less NBA playoff game. We got a couple of baseball games to discuss and more straight ahead. And as we go to break, it is concert week here, giving away prizes for you guys all week. We are going to ask for caller number 6 right now at 1-800-920-1140 or 916-339-1140. What we're looking for is caller number 6. And if you are that caller, you will win a pair of tickets to see NKOTB, New Kids on the Block. Sacktown Sports has teamed up with Live Nation to get you ready for Concert Week 2024. All you have to do is hit us up on that Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now. We're looking for caller number 6 to score a pair of tickets to see New Kids on the Block at Toyota Amphitheater on July 2nd. If you need more information, visit sacktownsports.com. Again, the numbers 916-339-1140 or 1-800-920-1140. Caller number 6. If you are that lucky caller, you will win a pair of tickets to see New Kids on the Block. All right, we will break. When we come back, what to watch tonight, what to follow, what we're going to follow, and still to come, crosstalk with Styles and Watkins and celebrity birthdays. All that as we continue the show here on Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Styles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Hey there, Jason Ross here to tell you about one of our new sponsors here to Sacktown Sports and to the morning show here, and that's the Gonzalez Law Offices. Jonathan Gonzalez over there, had lunch with him last week. Really a terrific person, and that's a name you should know. And why should you know it? Because you may be in need of some representation at some point. You don't know when. Hopefully you won't. But who would you call when you're in need of in a situation and something that you didn't expect to be in? You want someone that's from here, that is willing to go to bat for you, willing to support you, and has experience and has success. Tried many cases, things on a good percentage win rate. Look, these are things that you need, that you should know, and just kind of have in the back of your mind, like, hey, what was that name? What was that number? Well, who should I go to? Well, let's tell you this first. Go to sacklegaldefense.com or 916-304-9187. So maybe there's something from your past that that's holding you back personally or even professionally. Something that was, hey, I was young, I was stupid, something happened, it was a mistake, but it's still kind of following me. I'd like to get away from that. Well, those things happen. I don't want to be naive and think that hasn't happened to anybody. I'm sure it has. So how would you like that removed from your record? How would you even go about doing that? How does that happen? How do I get that clean start? Well, the Gonzalez Law Office can help you with that and many things that you may need help in lines like this. They do expungements. They can help you get that fresh start that you're looking for. Now, Jonathan Gonzalez and his law offices are right here in the heart of downtown Sacramento, and he's here to help you out. He's local. You might even see him on the river one day out on his boat. Like he's here. He's not turning and burning cases. He cares about the results, and he cares about you. So the point is, you want someone you can trust and someone that is willing to go to work for you no matter what the situations that you're in need in, and you feel like you need someone to represent you. So go to sacklegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. That's sacklegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey, movie fans, playing this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the IMAX experience.
This was a human place. It is not yours. It is now, isn't it?
The combination of groundbreaking visuals and the immersive experience of the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen will make this an epic event. Don't miss out on the opportunity to see the next chapter, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, at the Esquire IMAX Theater. Grab your tickets at IMAX.com/Sacramento and reserve your seat today.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't. Right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
Hagen Oaks Demo Days is in the home stretch, and this is your last chance to register for an individual fitting appointment with the manufacturer's fitting staff from Ping, TaylorMade, Mizuno, Callaway, Cleveland, Strixon, and Zexio. You've waited many long months for the new golf season, and Hagen Oaks has your new golf gear right now. Book your individual Hagen Oaks Demo Days fitting appointment. Call 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for your personal fitting. Hagen Oaks, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway or HagenOaks.com.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard. Aired by the California Broadcasters Association and this station. Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
On Sacktown Sports.
You didn't like that one?
Not much of a joke.
I know. It's the beauty of Nate. Coming up, Styles and Watkins at the top of the hour. Jason Ross, Chris Verlad hanging out. Early on, you may have heard Carmichael Dave check in on the show. He had some family things to take care of today. Should be back with us tomorrow. If you ever miss any part of the show, feel free. Go back to our podcast page on sacktownsports.com. You can catch up on all the latest and greatest. Chris, did we get a winner of our New Kids on the Block tickets? Scotty does know. Scott will be going to see New Kids on the Block. Is that, I guess that name stuck with him. I mean, they're grown men. You can't change that name. Can that be a name that's changed? You just stick with it so everybody knows who they are. They're not men now.
Well, what don't they do the abbreviation?
NKOTB?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that like
pretty early on,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
When they realized, oh, we can't go by these boys for that long.
Yeah. Who was, when you were in your youth at maybe, let's say, between middle school to high school, like was there a popular boy band at that time, or a popular band, really super popular band amongst like classmates and students?
I would say that was around the time of Crisscross. They were pretty big.
Okay. Did you wear your pants backwards?
I did.
You did?
For opposite day.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a thing, right? Did schools have opposite day?
Yeah. That's right. I remember bubblegum day. The one day we were allowed gum at school.
That was a design day?
Uh-huh. You got to remember, this wasn't even the Lutheran school I was going to. This was the Baptist school I was going to.
Yeah, what happened to your school that shut down shortly after you left?
People stopped going.
That's why it shut down?
Yeah.
What is it now?
It is now a Latin. So the elementary school that I went, the elementary school or the high school?
Wait, your elementary school and high school are now gone?
Yes.
After you?
Yes. Actually,
don't say middle school as well.
No. I went to, so from preschool to second grade, I went to a Baptist school, which is now shut down. Then I went to a Lutheran school from 3rd to 8th grade. That's now shut down. Then I went to a Lutheran high school that is shut down.
Wait, so from preschool on, there's no gaps. Every school you went to is gone.
Yes.
There's got to be something behind that.
People stopped going.
What do you mean people stopped going to school?
Like, it was a private school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But I would say I believe that a little bit in high school, but like grade school, you're kind of, well, I would assume you're forced to go, but not if it's private and you have to pay for it. So what are the 3 schools now?
What do you mean?
Like what are they current? Like, are they residential? Are they a mini mall?
So the first one is being, it looks like it's being rebuilt. Like it's been on sale for like 15 years, just empty. So I think they're trying to rebuild it. The second one, it was part of a church and school, and it has become a Catholic church that does like Latin mass.
Okay.
And it's huge. And it looks like it's been there for 200 years.
Okay.
And then the high school, I don't know what's being done with the high school.
How far after you were done with high school, like you weren't the last graduating class?
No, but it was probably about 3 or 4 years after I graduated. They moved to like a smaller place in high school in Elk Grove. And it was just like, I want to say like 3 or 4 what are the like temporary like
portables?
It was like 3 or 4 of those, and then after a few years of that, they just said like, we're just
evaporated.
Yeah.
What was your graduating class? How many people?
20.
Oh my gosh! Wow. I think mine was in the 4 something range, 450, 420.
Yeah, 28. Wow. I think 28.
Chris, starting center, starting shooting guard, starting point guard.
I was on the bench.
Pitcher, first base, like Bugs Bunny, first base. Yeah, thank goodness. All right.
That was a good thing. Like, no matter how bad you were at sports, you could make the team.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That first time I really, growing up in Southern California, I went to a big school, and our school was good and and I ran into a few people that I came across when I went to Davis and maybe played pickup or different things. And there'd be a couple people like, yeah, I was all state. I'm like, you were? Like, yeah, we had a small school. It's like, oh, okay. But still, that's so hard to comprehend. You're like, I don't even think you would have even remotely made our basketball team, but good for you. Enjoy those accolades. That's awesome. Tonight, just one game because, the Nuggets and the T-Wolves, they got done with their series pretty quickly. So they wanted to get that one started up. That was the second round to start. We know Minnesota won game 1. Minnesota responded with just a brilliant game 2. So they got a 2-0 series advantage. They have the day off today. But the one game that is going to go on tonight is the Pacers at the Knicks. I really like the Knicks right now. It's just a fun team to watch. Good style. I wouldn't be surprised if we have another close game. That one's going to be at 5 o'clock TNT tonight. I don't know that it's a must win for the Pacers because I feel like they could go home and even that thing at 2 apiece. I don't think there's a large separation between the two teams. I do like the Knicks to win this series, but would not be the slightest bit shocked if this one goes to 6 or 7 games. Indiana's really good firepower. If they can get the game more in their tone and their pace, I could easily see them winning. Point spread for today, let's see what we got. Knicks by 4.5. Seems about right, being at home, crazy atmosphere. We'll see if that ends up as a 2-0 Knicks lead or a 1-1 series split. Also today, baseball-wise, the Giants are back in action, taking on the Rockies. That'll be in Colorado. And that first pitch later this afternoon with the Giants going with Hicks on the mound. They're 16-21. Rockies have just been brutal this year, only 8 wins. So the Giants need to get some work done there. And then we mentioned earlier multiple times, the A's have a doubleheader today at home. A's and Rangers get started around 12:30. The second game will follow immediately after. In this 4-game set with the Rangers. Rangers getting a little separation now on the A's. So it'd be good if the A's can at least get one, if not both, to split that season series. All right. One more break for us. When we come back, it's time to bring in the guys. Crosstalk with Styles and Watkins, plus celebrity birthdays, as we get you ready for their show coming up at 10. The guys join us next here on Sacktown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sacktown Sports at SacktownSports.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's going on for Chrysler's It's the Season sales event?
We're celebrating 75 years in business by offering Dodge Chargers and Challengers at enormous discounted prices to say thank you. We're sad to be saying goodbye to the last of the gas-powered Dodge Chargers and Challengers, but we're sending them out in style. Right now, save up to $11,000 off MSRP on the very last of the new 2023 Dodge Charger and Challenger Scat Packs.
It's hard to believe that this is really the end.
Yep, once they're gone forever. Don't wait and miss your chance because there's only a few left, and with savings like this, they won't last long.
Hurry in before they're gone. Stop by Hoblet Dodge in historic downtown Woodland for a test drive, or search, select, and save through our whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 11,000 total net savings on select new 2023 Challenger and Charger Scat Packs after 6,000 factory rebates and 5,000 dealer discounts. 5 of this net savings, sample VIN 596361. See dealer for details.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Kettleman's.
Guys, are you ready to give up because you think you've tried everything and you're still dealing with loss of energy, poor sleep, weight gain, and even ED? Revive Men's Health Sacramento has local medical providers that offer low T and ED treatments customized to each patient's unique physical makeup. By working with a specialized compounding lab, personalized treatments are guaranteed, even when generic pills and supplements haven't worked. It all starts with your free comprehensive exam and consultation. Availability is limited. Book today, and for this month only, Revive offers qualified patients a free 1-month supply of personalized ED medication, plus a free ED treatment producing immediate results. The experts at Revive Men's Health Sacramento will work to provide the right treatment for you so you can show up as the best you in all aspects of your life. Call 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566. Or send them a private message at revivemenshealth.com.
You know the saying, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Kenny and Jerry here from Bell Brothers. And when it comes to air conditioning tune-ups and repairs, it's true.
Sure, I can tell you how great our techs are, how they're experienced, dedicated, and trained to do the job right the first time. Make no mistake, our techs are great. But the way you'll know they care is in the details.
They show it by arriving on time, in clean trucks, wearing clean uniforms. They're clean cut, friendly, and courteous. They communicate clearly and will give you a price up front, in writing, so there are no surprises.
You'll know they care because they will treat you like they care. And like I said, they're also really good at doing the job right the first time.
Call Bell Brothers today to schedule an $87 precision tune-up. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
And now,
here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
No, not on the snow. Yeah, a couple times. I just snowed here. Once here. You remember, I don't know if it was officially snow, but I remember going to, it was like a Kings game day. And I remember walking and there was like, I don't know if it's technically snow, but it was.
Here?
Yeah. It was maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Are you sure it wasn't hail?
It might have been hail that just
hail,
collected and had the, had the snow effect.
It hailed like 2 months ago here.
Yeah. It was scary. Yeah. It was
What's going on?
A scary bad hail.
Yeah, you're ready for it. You want to see what this Sacramento summer's about.
Some like it hot, as they say.
I do.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do not.
I know.
I'm going to be on the river.
Ugh,
Are
gross.
Oh yeah. I love the river.
What do you do on the river?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Well, you get on a boat.
Okay.
You stand by the river.
Sounds like a great day. Can you man the boat?
No, but by the time
kayak, I can picture you in a kayak.
I'm not with it. I'll do it for, relationship building, but
not as a fun.
You could just do a river float and just kind of float down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't do tubing in the river, right?
Yes, you can.
Oh, you can?
Mm-hmm.
I'm tubing.
Yeah.
It's a great time.
So you're just
it's
floating.
a really good time.
No, you have somebody pull you.
Oh, well, okay, same idea. Well, same idea. You're just floating behind
You're
someone
floating
else's boat.
quickly.
A speedboat. You're water skiing.
That's right. I don't know if I should do that with my Achilles.
Yeah.
Can't find it. I thought I had a picture of when it's
Of the snow?
Yeah.
Let it snow.
Okay. What's going on, guys? What's coming up today on the show?
A lot of good stuff. We're continuing player breakdowns for the season. Almost done with that. Today we're doing Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter. Yesterday I did my free agent guard targets. Today I'm doing free agent forward targets. A lot of people not excited about the guards, which makes sense because I don't really think they need guards, but I don't think people understood that there's more coming. So.
Are you guys breaking down the picture of Malik Monk golfing?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Overreacting.
King's gear.
For sure. It's over.
Oh, yeah.
He's signed,
he's
right?
signed.
He's
It's already
staying.
happened.
He's staying. That's what, and I need to see that scorecard as well. We're gonna.
Are you questioning his game or
No, we're gonna guess who won.
Yeah.
Keegan.
Is he about that life?
I think
You said, Doug wasn't there, huh? I was going to say, I know you said Doug hasn't played in a while, but
yeah,
I would still have my money on Doug.
I don't know what. Do you think between Monty, Wes, and Brown, are they any good?
I bet
Maybe
Wes
Monty.
is pretty decent.
You're with Monty and Wes, okay. No love for Coach
You
Brown.
get a vest like that, you know. How to
I don't
golf.
think so. Yeah, Coach Brown likes his Harley. I don't think he likes to spend time out on the
I would
range.
not have pictured him a Harley guy, by the way.
I wouldn't have either, but now that I see it, I could see him with the leather vest and everything. Like, he would look official.
We saw him leaving somewhere when he was still when we were living in Oakland. He was coaching.
He was on the Harley?
Warriors. He left where he was in a Harley.
Oh wow!
And I saw him get on the Harley. I said, "Is that Mike Brown?"
Yeah.
I know Jordy. Obviously, Jordy's gone now, but not gone. In Brooklyn, he's no longer with us.
That sounds worse.
Yeah, it does. He used to talk about all the time. He would ride the scooter. He had a scooter because I guess he lived in downtown or midtown, and I guess Jordy was quite the Fast and Furious fan. And he said he had to repair that scooter a couple times because he wasn't used to going over like the train tracks that we have downtown. And said he busted his scooter a couple times.
Put Nas in the Vespa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get that thing cooking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was asking Chris this earlier today because the A's have a doubleheader today. You guys ever been to a doubleheader baseball game?
No. I don't know if I would want to.
Really?
I don't think so.
Is it a 2-for-1 ticket as well?
I believe that
like
is.
you just stay all day.
Yeah. It's not a makeup. It was a scheduled one. So
Could
I've been to one that was
you could go like if you just can't make the first one, I don't see why not. You could just go.
You
to the
arrive
second
when you
one.
arrive. Yeah. If it's the fifth inning or the first inning of the second game. Yeah. No interest?
Yeah.
Too long?
I don't think so.
Too long of a day?
Baseball for sure, I would consider.
Yeah.
More than any other sport, I'd probably.
Depending on the game, I mean,
didn't she leave the A's game when it was a 0-0 game?
I don't know why we're bringing up old stuff. Shohei had already left the game. I saw what I needed to see. The A's might have hit a walk-off. It's fine.
It might have.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Heard it in the car.
Yeah.
I was always rushing to bar.
Second sports before.
So I would leave. So I would leave early.
Gotcha.
If they're winning, I'll leave early. If they're losing, I'll actually stay.
Yeah, take part of it.
Come back.
Huh. I feel like I would do the opposite.
If they're winning, I don't need to be.
It's weird.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, if they're winning by more than 3 runs.
I feel like that's
so,
why
if you
go.
went to a Kings game as a non-working, it's hard because you're basically working, but you leave like, I don't need to see the beam. I want to go.
If they're smacking them, I'm out.
Really? That's so interesting.
Yeah, I feel like most people would be the opposite. Like, I'm miserable because they're losing by 20. I'm out of here.
But this is similar to what we were talking about before the Kings ended when we said, what do you think fans would rather go to? That terrible game against the Blazers where the Kings won or the good game against the Suns where the Kings lost?
Yeah.
I just feel like by that logic, you're paying to go see your team lose. You're like, oh, the team ended up killing it. Like, that's not, I'm leaving. I'm
leaving with 5 minutes left in the fourth. I leave when,
But it's got to be a blowout.
The starters come out. Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. Gotta get out of that garage. Man. Gotta get out of that garage.
And every minute is critical.
Honestly.
No. Yeah. There was a Friday night game. I think in another dimension, I'm still in the
That's
Where's
what's going
Alan?
on.
He's still there.
He's still
there. Today is National. What do we got here? Have a Coke Day. Coke, Pepsi. Preference?
I'm out.
You don't like Coke?
I like light sodas.
Do you get the
Bright,
difference? I don't.
starry.
I
I
can taste
really
the difference, but
don't.
I
not-
can,
Yeah.
but I don't do it.
Coke in a bottle is
I have
better.
no preference. Yeah,
I think Chris was
Bottles
saying
are-
Coke or Pepsi.
yeah.
You said Coke in a bottle.
Well, it's better as far as those two.
Yeah.
I mean,
Coke
like,
in a can, Coke in a bottle.
Yeah, Coke in a bottle.
You don't notice the difference? I feel like Coke in the can.
I feel like when you see Coke commercials, you think, man, that looks good.
Yeah.
And then when I get there, I say,
Yeah, it's not that good.
I don't even try it.
National Coconut Cream Pie Day.
Sounds like a
Love
Dave,
a coconut
Dave
cream
thing.
pie.
National Receptionist Day.
Hello?
Thank you.
Hello. National Student Nurse Day and School.
Operator,
Nurse
sir.
Day. Man, there's a lot of National Alphabet Magnet Day. Those only go in the fridge, right?
Mhm.
My school didn't have a school nurse.
They
I was like,
didn't?
no,
What
like
would
somebody
happen?
who would just stay there all day and be a
Yeah.
nurse. No.
Yeah, I never had a school nurse.
Yeah.
Well, you had 4 people at your school now. We've learned.
Chris's school was only a little bit bigger than mine.
It really was. I learned this week.
Oh, I went too far. Okay, I got you. Yeah, how big was your school? Christian Brothers was big, wasn't it?
It's not huge.
It's a personal question.
What, like 1,000?
No, I don't even think that.
800?
I mean, I think my graduating class, which we had a small one, but I think we were like 150 or something.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
where'd you go?
I was hoping you didn't ask. I went to Dale South.
Oh yeah. How many in your graduating class?
I think that's why.
Yeah, I think it was about. It feels like it was 150 a
Oh, wow.
class.
Really?
Yeah, so
Maybe
it was the smallest
200.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize De La
Man,
Salle
you
was that
guys
small.
really maximize your
Don't
talent out
also
there.
also
My
don't quote me.
goodness.
Okay.
I'll check.
I feel like you would have to
They're
have
in the
more
400s.
because
Like 450.
Really?
Graduating class, yeah.
Their
Probably
class
at least.
of 150 makes my class.
Yeah,
of
apparently there's
26.
1,000.
that's like your whole school.
250.
Probably,
Yeah,
Still decent size.
250.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, you guys are maximizing your talent out there.
Yeah, for sure.
That's insane.
They want winners. They got winners.
Oh,
All right.
dangers.
For celebrity days, brought to you by our friends at Carmichael Cookies. Birthdays are meant to be family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together quite like a crumble cookie. Those sound good right now.
What do we do?
Great.
Hey, speaking of, well, what do we do with Chris now that does he get a plaque or something? Christopher Lott?
Oh, with the 4 straight.
Four straight.
Four
Well, no,
straight.
now we
Hey, good
chase.
job,
Now we're
dude.
seeing if somebody
Chase
gets
a
to 5.
Yeah.
So the record's been established. I don't even know who had 3 in a row, but
Yeah.
I think we just made that up. Like no one's ever done.
I think
4.
a few of us have done 3 in a row.
Yeah.
I meant to bring this up yesterday with the crumble cookies because one of the names out there was Tobias Harris. And the whole thing when someone said I'd trade Tobias Harris for a box of crumble cookies.
Yes.
I probably would.
Maybe that's what it'll
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
Happy birthday today to Kemba
Walker.
Yes.
Best step back in the game. Kemba.
I'm gonna say 37.
I actually no. I think you're close though. I think he's either 35 or 36. I'm gonna say he's 35.
34.
Oh, I know I'm closest.
We have a correct answer. Christopher Lott,
Oh, get outta
34
here.
for
Wow.
Kemba.
I mean, you
outta
were pretty close,
Get
Chris.
out of here.
You're only
Get
3
outta
years off.
Happy birthday to former King, he's still in the league, Garrett Temple.
Oh.
Was he with Toronto?
I think he was with Toronto.
Chris set the
Eric
pace here.
Temple. Well, now I'm all thrown off because I thought Kemba was an old man. I'm going to say Garrett Temple's 36.
Okay.
35.
37.
Christopher Lott is closest, 38
Wow.
for Garrett Temple.
He's still in the league?
Happy birthday to 49er legend, Ronnie Lott.
Oh. Did we end up talking with Ronnie Lott? I think we were supposed to.
We were supposed to.
I don't think we were supposed to.
Oh, you would have remembered.
Really? Is he?
Yeah, he's great.
Is he a good guest?
Yeah.
Ronnie Lott. Ugh. I'll say. Quick math. 67.
I was gonna say 62.
64.
65, Christopher Lott, the closest.
This guy's
Bill Cower.
Chris, you started.
66.
Bill Cower.
67.
I'll say 64.
We have a correct answer. Alan Stiles, 67.
Hey.
On the board.
Mike D'Antoni.
Love defense.
68. 69. We'll do 69.
Okay.
66.
73.
We have a correct
That's a close
answer.
one, probably.
Christopher Lutz,
Yeah.
73.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me.
We out of time?
D'Antoni.
Very quickly.
Michael Penix Jr.
Oh, I thought it was his birthday today. He's either 25 or 26. I'll say 25.
He can't be 26. He's 24 because I don't have time.
He's 25.
He is 24, Alan.
Come on!
There you go.
He's not that old. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Everyone said he's so old.
All right, that's it for us for this morning show. Fastest growing show in the world.
That's what I hear.
That's fact. It's coming your way next. Styles and Watkins right here on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion